Hello, and welcome back to Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star, also known as Christmas Pigeons, for Christmas, because it's Christmas. It's Christmas, yeah! Hi Lenny, and hi Mokolk, thank you so much, I hope you have a great day as well. Guess what? What? Ooh. What is up? What is happening? Don't make me guess, I'm terrible at guessing things. I'm so sad that like my last stream of this ended up getting cut short because Twitch was just misbehaving completely. But you've got enough for the Automaton Serenade. Heck yes! Thank you so much for the redeem. Okay, I had to choose. Well, it's Christmas, so I feel like it's got to be a Christmassy song, hasn't it? Here she is! It's time! It's time! It's actually been a while since I actually got an Automaton Serenade, so heck yes, right. I'm trying to remember how the tune for this like menu music goes. Maybe I could play along with it. Oh, I already messed it up. It's fine. Peculicon? 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 Thank you so much for the follow. Hello and welcome. Oh, the confetti didn't work. Damn it. Oh wait, no it did. It just took a while. Yay! Hello Sparrow! How's it going? Oh, and hello! I am doing very well, thank you. I have not started the game yet. I'm just excited and ready and Christmas! It's Christmas! Yeah, my last stream for this got cut very short, so I was like, I need to see how many more streams I can fit in just to do more of the story, because there's 4 stories and I only got through one of them before Twitch last week was like, you know what, we're gonna stop working. But anyway, I need to play an actual Christmas song. Hold on. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mute the game for a second. There we go, let's... There it is! I made the confetti green as well. I was like, how can I make this Christmassy? There we go. So many points gone. It's okay, you can just earn more. Very worth it though. Right, let's, it's Christmas time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wanna know something funny? The game music stopped anyway. Hold on, I'm just gonna burp. There we go, now we got the background music back. Thank you so much for the Automaton Serenade. A little bit of jingle bells there. Oh, I should have done like a jingle bells sound effect. Like a sound alert. Instead I've just got completely cursed sound alerts instead. I guess that works too. Anyway, I think if I do load, it's just like the mid-game, so I've got to do new game. But this time, we're going for the second story, which is Fallen Chronicles Absolute Zero. Which is, it's gonna be interesting, I think. Oh, thank you so much for the luck. I will enjoy the holiday birds. It is Christmas pigeon time. I've been excited for this. Yes, thank you. I hope your day goes well. Thank you for joining in the background. Anyway, it is time for me to try and remember the voices I gave everyone again. Anyway, the Holy Crusade, to which brave warriors flock twice a year. The Crimson Angel of Judacia descends upon the sacred ground. It's gonna be one of those stories. Thank you so much for also lurking. I hope you Hope you enjoy the story in the background. It's going to be a very serious story, as I'm sure you can tell by this intro. What will he find there? The laurel crown of glory, or the thorned circlet of despair? What will the fallen angel find through the guidance of the golden apostle? Please enter your name. My name is... We put a Leary. And then we put another Leary because I'm unimaginative. So I gave myself 2 names. Yes, that is my name. There we go. Again, I've lost. Again. Why? Why is the beauty of my craft not recognized? Why? His research holds no beauty. Mere reason is not enough. All is meaningless without the sense of an artistic soul. So then, why? Why does this happen? No, if I remain here, my genius will only rot. I cannot allow such a loss to the world. I am done here. I shall find a place where I am valued for what I am. I shall not return here. This affront will not be forgotten. I will have my revenge. One day. Consider it punishment for your lack of imagination. Remember then, my name. Unlike you, I have pride in the name I carry. You will not find me using some ridiculous alias. I am Tori. Nishikikoji Tori. Alite, hello! Welcome to Pigeon Time. Nice to see you. I was gonna say it's been a while. I streamed literally yesterday. It has not been a while. I think it just feels like that because I slept for a very long time. But hello, how's it going? You're just in time. We only just started the story, so it's time for a new Christmas pigeon story. Ah, my hands are too cold to move. This is my last day in the library for the year. Once I've put away the returned books and written down the list of editions, I should be done, but what is it with this library? Why can't a big-name school at least shell out for some decent heating? If you have the energy to be shouting at the bookshelves, you should try writing a petition. Oh, sorry. Was I bothering you? Yes. I can't read with you making so much noise next to me. Nothing goes into my head. Please forgive my dreadful sin. Oh, just started work. I hope your work goes well. I'll keep you company while you work. You can listen to pigeon stories. Peak efficiency. It's pigeons and working at the same time. That definitely won't be distracting. Please forgive my dreadful sin. Bad language is supposed to have effects on the spiritual world. The cold doesn't bother you, Nagaki? It doesn't. I feel fine. I feel like this background music's a bit loud. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. There we go, that's a bit better. Hopefully this isn't too quiet now. It's so hard to tell. It doesn't. I feel fine. I see that I'm icy. Having plumage must really make a difference. Maybe they don't bother with heating because all the birds are fine. I don't think that's the case. So, birds are cold in here too, then? Well, there's one freezing to death right over there. Huh? What? I follow Nagaki's gaze, and I see a rather familiar-looking bleeding heart dove freezing to death on the floor. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, Bob, hello! Hi, thank you so much for the raid. How's it going? Hold on, let me do this one myself. There we go. Get a cheeky shout out for you. How was the PC building? Thank you so much for the raid. Hi. Spreading the love. Oh, it's not usual that I'm the one streaming after you, so this is nice. It's fine. You can have 2 shout outs. just because Just because you're cool, you get another shout out as well. Just because I want to be the one to do it. There we go. Thank you so much for the raid. You joined an interesting moment, but we've only just started the story, so it's Christmas pigeon time. Oh, I'm glad the PC building went well. Yes, we're in the library at the moment, and it is rather cold. Angel, are you alive? Speak to me, Angel. Ah, is that you, Edelblau? Where is this? Have I fallen once more into the eternal prison of ice? No, look around yourself. It's just an unreasonably cold library. Oh, fix the PC for the goblins. Oh, perfect. Thank you for the hydrate as well. Have a sip of my trusty Monster Energy Ultra Zero. Fabulous. But oh, thank you so much for the raid again. I'm so glad. This looks like it's shaping up to be a very interesting Christmas tale. So hopefully you enjoy the dulcet pigeon story. It's gonna be ridiculous. I love this game. Yeah. Do you mean to keep my fallen wings in this world, Edelblau? If you are to walk with me the blood-stained path of conquest, I don't care about that. Why are you on the verge of death in here? The day of judgment draws near. I speak of Ragnarok, Edelblau. He is incomprehensible as always. The desk he was sitting at is covered in sheets of paper. Oh! Are you drawing manga? Great prognostications of the future, and epics of heroes long dead. I must complete them and bring them to the battlefield of gods. 'Tis a lonely, lonely battle. Let's see. He's in the manga club, so maybe he's working on a club zine? Even though the festival was ages ago, how admirable! You can do it, Angel! I'm sure you'll make it on time. But it's cold in here. Don't you think you should go home and work on it there? Do you worry for my flesh? Very well. Perhaps now is the time for repose, as you say. Farewell, Edelblau. He happily gathers up his papers and exits the library. He comes in here quite often, though he would be better off working elsewhere if the cold bothers him so. He must have some reason. Maybe the atmosphere in here gets him into the perfect mindset for the story he's telling. But bleeding heart doves are from the Philippines, so they don't fare too well in the cold. He shouldn't push himself so hard. Later that evening. I'm going numb. I should have brought that blanket robe I've had my eye on when I was in town today. The price will make my purse weep, but this cold makes me weep more. Huh? Someone texted me. It's Ryota! Meet me in town. I wonder what's going on. Doesn't matter. My body is rapidly approaching its crystallization point, so I'll head into town and avail myself of this wearable blanket on my way to meet Ryota. Very important. Sorry to keep you waiting. Oh, no, I just got here. Larry, I know it's cold, but are you sure you want to be walking around in public looking like that? Huh? But it's a wearable blanket. Wouldn't it be more strange to not wear it? Well, I guess that's true. If you're okay with it. Anyway, you wanted to talk to me? Oh, yes. I wanted to ask you a favor. You hardly ever ask for my help. I'll do whatever it is with flash and pizzazz, so what is it? Do you have plans for the end of the year? Not really. I finished cleaning and everything. Even New Year's Eve? I was planning to laze around all day, like always. Would you maybe be willing to be a sales girl for a day? There's no pay, but a volunteer sales girl. Is it at the flea market or something? That's not far off. Do you know about Comic Cat? Comic Cat? How should I explain it? It's like a flea market, but not... A lot of birds get together and buy and sell manga that they've drawn with their friends. So... sort of like the manga club's booth at the festival? Yeah, something like that. Just on a much larger scale. I was wondering if you could run a booth for me. Would you like to? Sure. It sounds like fun. Did you draw something, Ryota? No, I'm just another sales girl. What does that mean? So, one of your friends asked you to find someone? Yeah, Angel! What? What? Oh. So that manga he was pouring his lifeblood into in the library is for this Comic-Cat thing. But why are you asking me? He never mentioned it to me. I've been a sales girl for one group for the past 3 years and somehow Angel found out. So... Textoris Melodia Funeris. The battle of gods. The judgment draws near. My soul has not the strength left to continue on alone. Become my light! Yeah, that sounds like Angel. He asked me to help him. That means I'll be lonely on my own, so come with me? I think so, yeah. But I'm already helping someone. I can't be in 2 places at once. Oh. Hello, come in. Hi, Yinji. How's it going? Welcome to Pigeon Time. I think we're gonna be a booth babe at Pigeon Comic-Cat somehow. So, yeah, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Christmas pigeons. So you're asking me? Yup. What do you say? Want to? Of course. Could be a good learning experience. A learning experience? Well, you'll certainly see some things you wouldn't anywhere else. It is Ragnarok after all. I think any name Angel comes up with is going to be confusing, but it does look like a battle to end all battles at times. I'll need a weapon, right? Just tell me what to bring. Will I want something with range, or will I be up close? Don't take it that literally. I just meant there can be a lot of really impatient birds with no social skills. It can be confusing at first, so you should probably do some research ahead of time. If you search around, you'll find plenty of guides for first-timers. Comic-Cat lasts 3 days, and I think Angel's on the first day. On the third day, I can read. The last day's always the worst, so make sure you're ready. Okay, I will study hard. A sales girl at Comic-Cat. I have no idea what this will entail. But from what Ryota said, it may well be as hell on this earth. Wahaha, my blood thirsts for combat. My hunter-gatherer instincts are ready for this. Time to go home and scour the internet for Comic-Cat tutorials. Blum. Aw, 2 turtle doves, how sweet. Today's the 31st. I am up at dawn so that I may meet the brave Angel who throws himself into the fray of the holy war. Man, I love the music in this game. Also, let me know if it's too loud as well, because it tends to fluctuate a lot. It's like it will be really quiet for a while and then it will suddenly just blast at something, so... Oh, look at all these birds. Oh, what a crowd. Is everybody here going to Comic-Con? Correct, Edelblau. Oh, Uncle. See you in Edelblau, the holy land of the chosen, the abyss of madness, Tokyo Big Sight. So that's the big site? It's an even more bizarre building than my investigations had led me to believe. Let's go inside, Angel. It's cold out here. Be not in haste, Edelblau. The time is not yet come. Wait for the nightmare sage who shall guide us. Who, where? Who, what now? Does he have a second helper? Good morning. Chilly out, isn't it? Oh, it's Mr. Nanaki! Mr. Nanaki? We have awaited you, Sage of Nightmares. Well, why are you here, sir? The Manga Club's advisor asked me to look after Higure. So you're standing in? Shoo! Hello! Welcome to Pigeon Time. We're at Pigeon Comic-Con. How are you doing? How's it going? So you're standing in? I suppose he's busy with winter cleaning and everything. No. The advisor is here too. He's here, but he wants you to be Angel's chaperone? Yes, that's right. Apparently he's busy. He said he's helping at a company booth. A company booth? I feel like the internet said those could end up swamped from the start of the convention until closing time. Each bird must do battle with himself in this holy land. I do not blame him. How mature of you. It looks like I'll be selling Angel's manga with Mr. Nanaki all day. Better do my best. Oh, just chillin', just got home. Welcome home. Time to relax and listen to stories about Pigeon Comic-Con. Merry Christmas. It was pretty crowded outside, but if anything, it's even worse in here. I'm a little worried that somebody's tenderfoot or wing bone might get broken with this many birds crowded together. What kind of manga did you draw, Angel? The Tales of the Dark Angel. The Forbidden Epic Saga. Ooh, sounds pretty goth. Yes, that's nice. Very, very like you. I studied a lot to prepare for today. I'll show these idolaters my super salesgirl moves. Let us ride to battle side by side, Edelblau, as dictated by the contract of old. It's contract with a capital C. That's a... Ooh? What should I do? Time is passing worryingly by. The epic poem of the Dark Angel is stacked on the table exactly as we placed it when we set up. Angel? Should I maybe use my voice a little? Like they do in markets? It is well, Edelblau. Needless effort will only raise more barriers before us. Okay. I don't think we're selling anything. It's rather chilly in here. Why don't I get us something warm? Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. What kind of expression should I have right now? A sea of birds floats by on clicking feet. The far wall is lined with enormous queues. Those must be for the big circles. Some of them have even started packing up. Have they sold out already? Just how many books were in those stacked up boxes? It's like looking into another world. Larry! Get some Glühwein. We'll warm you up. Ooh, what is... Hold on, what is that? Oh, mulled wine! Yes, we've actually got some mulled wine in for Christmas, and I am so excited for it. There's nothing quite as nice as sitting in the warm with all the Christmas lights on, lovely warm glass of mulled wine, opening presents, good times. Good times. Anyway, Larry! Oh, look! Look at him! Oh, he's beautiful. I love him. But... pretty cool. Cool. It's pretty cool. That's amazing. You know pretty cool too? Pretty cool. Yes, I do. Auto catch. Pretty cool. Oh, it's the one that's on Sunday mornings, right? Oh, you're so cute. Oh my god, I can't believe. Pretty Cure is also a thing in Hatoful World. So good. Oh, you're so cute. Hey, can you do that thing? The signature line. It's embarrassing. Just once. Just once. I just want to see it once. Okay. A single flower blooming in the asphalt road. Cool gray. Yes, that's so cute. Just like in the anime. I'm just wearing it because I was helping out today. Do sales girls cosplay? Sometimes. Not everybody does, but they always tell me to make sure I come in costume. The circle I'm with just sold out. We're cleaning up now, so I better go back and help. Good luck, Larry. Cool gray. Ryota strides gallantly off with some sales slips and duct tape. The aura of an old veteran hangs about his shoulders. I've never seen Ryota looking so competent. Wow, that's kind of a bit of a backhanded compliment, huh? It's almost closing time. Angel remains silent, looking mildly tortured. I didn't realize sales girls were supposed to cosplay Angel. Next time, I'll pour my tribal blood into a costume. I mean, we called him competent, but also implied that he's never usually competent, which, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. It's okay. Ryota works hard. He's a good lad. He deserves better than he gets. Do not blame yourself, Edelblau. This sin is mine alone. Don't say that. You did your best, Angel. An unerasable sin. I am carved with my black past. That is my punishment. The unescapable cross I must... Excuse me, which of you is representing the circle? A rather gaudily upholstered bird appears before us. Wow, colourful! He's a golden pheasant. A phasianid like the doctor and myself, you know? Aha. I'd never have thought something with such extreme plumage was related to them. I am sovereign of this domain. And you are? Ah, it's you? I thought as much. Your bearing, your countenance, so artistic. I can feel your aura, so unlike any other here. He certainly is unlike any other, yes. Forgive me, I haven't introduced myself. Nishikikoji Tori. Mr. Bishkikoji Toshiki? Nishikikoji Tori. Not, I might add, a pen name. It has been mine since hatching. I am rather proud of it. It is a good name, yes? And the next time you get it wrong, I will make you wish you had never crawled your miserable way into this world. Oh, dear me, what am I saying? Please, pay it no mind. Yeah, very, yeah. Golden Weekly. That's the new splash hit magazine. So you know of it. I am flattered. I am the editor-in-chief, and I am here looking for new talent. I noticed you from far away. Ah, your unparalleled artistry. Your vast imagination. Yes, these are the attributes of one who will change the world. Golden-winged messenger. Could you be the one written of in the crimson tome of augury? Precisely. I am here to aid you. There is yet much talent that sleeps within you. Is it not so? A great power locked within. Yes, exactly. I am here to tell you that I can help you wake your powers. My firm's location is shown on the back of this card. Please, come talk to me in the new year, Angel, sir. I thank you, golden-winged messenger. Let us enter a pact of blood. Wow, Angel looks so happy. He's grinning. I guess he has a pretty worldly side to him too. Imagine a world painted with your ability. Ah, how I long to see it. I shall take my leave now. I pray your new year will be abundant with artistry. The golden pheasant walks smartly off through the crowd. What impressive coloration. Mr. Bishkikoji was a very strange fellow, wasn't he? Nishkikoji. Leary. It's a confusing name. You're so sharp you'll cut yourself one of these days, Mr. Nanaki. Then again. Mr. Nanaki looks Angel up and down, and then tilts his head, staring off after the golden pheasant. I don't know very much about manga, but... maybe I'm worrying too much. He looks like he wants to say something, but falls silent. I'm guessing what he wants to say is, don't the talent scouts usually want to read the manga? Maybe. You know what, I'm sure it's fine. I'm a little worried too, but I can't say anything in front of Angel like this. Didn't someone once say that a serpent speaks with a silver tongue? And Mr. Nishikikoji was very suspicious. I hope he was just a normal editor here to scout talent. Angel, none of us mentioned your name to him, did we? Oh, I did not even pick up on that. Oops. The mysterious pheasant in the convention hall crowd. Who is he, really? And so they left the Holy Land, Angel full of zeal, Kazuaki and Leary full of doubt. Diddly-doo-doo. I'm so glad you find this relaxing, even with my silly voices. But yeah, it's just story time. It's great. We're sharing stories together. The first day of school in autumn is always a little slow, but the first day after winter break is painful in its own special way. I don't like winter mornings, but being with everybody is fun, so there's nothing really wrong with school itself. Huh? Isn't that... Good morning, Angel! Is it you, Edelblau? You're here on honors student time. Do you go to bed early? The twilight invades my crimson breast. I cannot expose my flesh to it for long. That means you go to bed early, right? When do you usually sleep? Before the blue-tinted moon leads its ghouls through the night. 10 p.m. That's early. That's really early. I am bound to meet the golden-winged messenger on this day. He wishes to gather from me the Vorpal souls. Vorpal souls? That's a new one. It would take him a while to explain if I asked, so I think I'll leave it alone. That's the Golden Weekly thing, right? So you're going to meet with Mr. Nishikikoji? It is so. And I shall gain new powers. Mr. Nishikikoji. That mysterious golden pheasant who appeared before us on the holy battlefield on New Year's Eve. Is he really trustworthy? He seems highly suspicious. Aren't you nervous, Angel? Could I go with you? Be at ease, Edelblau. Some battles must be fought alone. This is a trial that those born under the demonic Scarlet Eye cannot escape. Is that so? Well, if you say so, let me know if I can help you. Angel marches triumphantly into his classroom. I bet his bag is full of manga manuscripts. Now that I think about it, he is going to show his work to an editor. It would be a little odd for a classmate to tag along. I am worried about Mr. Nishikikoji, but it looks like he is the editor of a real magazine. I can sit this one out. Some days later. I was thinking of eating in the cafeteria today, like you always do. Wanna go together? I'd love to. Aw. Cool. Oko-san's stomach calls for food. Let's go, let's go. Want to come with us, Sakuya? Do you tell me to sit at the same table as commoners? Today's when the second winter menu goes up, and the mixed bean sukiyaki udon is really good. Cool. It is superb, and available only for a few weeks. You can't possibly attend St. Pigeonations and never have the sukiyaki udon. Is it truly a food of such great prestige? Yes, and who doesn't think noble when they hear sukiyaki? Noble means sukiyaki, and sukiyaki means noble. So it is a high-class dish here in Japan. I suppose if all this is so, there cannot be much harm in trying it. Yay! Let's hurry before they're out. Is sukiyaki really something aristocrats used to eat? I don't know, but I'm sure it's fine. Yum! The mixed bean sukiyaki udon here is the best. Yeah, let me give you some of the meat from mine. If you want it. Are you sure? If I eat all of it, I'll feel sick later. Oh, right. In that case, you can have some of my beans. Here, swapsies. So this is sukiyaki. I wonder at the undignified flavor, but it is not bad. It's good. San, be careful! If you keep swallowing them whole like that, you'll choke. It would be kind of odd to ask for it in summer, but it is a little lonely only being able to eat it in January. Maybe the fact that it's seasonal makes us think it tastes better than it really does. That was good. Huh? A familiar figure appears by the tableware return area. The famous eccentric Filipino banana boy. Angel! I don't usually see you here. Oh, it's you, Edelblau. His reply comes somewhat slowly. Are you okay? You don't seem as energetic as usual. Oh, don't tell me Mr. Nishikikoji said something nasty to you. It's okay. Don't worry, Angel. You're still in high school. If you keep working like you have been, you'll be a pro in no time, and that'll show him. Do not be anxious, Edelblau. The golden-winged messenger shall guide me on the path to glory. The stars travel the paths they must. He walks away, grinning happily. I'm glad things went well with Mr. Nishikikoji, but... He looked a little pale, didn't he? So, you think so too? And I've never seen him acting that tired. Me neither. Uh-oh. Unlike me, Ryota is attentive and careful. If he sees it too, it can't be just my imagination. Maybe he's been staying up late working on the next issue. 1 week later. Ugh. Wow! What an oversleeping, wow! I'm late for the Sunday morning program. At least I can catch the second half of Pretty Cool. Pretty Cool! Open my Hato! A single flower blooming in the asphalt road. Core grey! A single flower swaying in the exhaust fumes. Core light grey! A single flower shredded by the BB gun's rage. Core dark grey. Hato catch pretty good. Look at him. Whoo! So cute. So cute. It's always good once all three of them are in the fight. And the transformation scenes are so pretty. That was fun. So much fun, I almost forgot that today's a makeup day. I'm awake and alive now, so it's time to go to school like a good girl. Huh? A rather familiar-looking bird has collapsed at the foot of the stairs. Angel? Are you okay? Did you slip? Are you a Dochiko now? Dochiko, like it's a Japanese character trait for like a clumsy girl. Like, you know the ones in anime which are always just like, oh no, I accidentally tripped. Oh no, I accidentally dropped this. Oh, tee-hee, oopsie, I just bumped into you. That kind of character. Ooh, it'll... Wow. Are you alright? Did you sprain your ankle? Oh, blood. My crimson breast. It craves blood. Be silent. Is he anemic? Wait, are we good girls supposed to go to school? You know, I've been to enough school, I think. I think I filled my quota of going to school, so I completed that bar. It's 100% completion rate. We're all good. Is he anemic? Angel, you're white as a sheet. Let's go to the infirmary. Angel has fainted completely by the time we arrive. He usually starts ranting about demon spores or something if he gets too close to the infirmary, so maybe it's better that he's out for now. So I brought him here. Is the doctor gone? Yes. He's overseas for a week doing research. And I'm watching the shop while he's out. Oh, Yuya. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! The boys seem a little sluggish today. January is almost over after all. I think they start winding down pretty soon after Christmas. Merry Christmas! Actually, are they boys? I hadn't really wondered about their gender before, just what are they? Could you take a look at Angel then? Isn't this just low blood pressure? It does look that way. Which isn't to say it couldn't be dangerous. Let's let him rest for a while. Thank you for bringing him here, mon ami. I'll be here when he wakes up. Thank you, Yuya! Yuya is so reliable and strong and handsome, and I like Yuya. He's been going to see that magazine editor all month. He said he was going for ordeals to show the way in times that must come, deciding on a pen name, but why is he so weak all of a sudden? I'm really worried. Maybe I'll talk to Mr. Nanuki about it. That is a little worrying. I know he's busy working on manuscripts, but I feel like it's still strange for him to be so weak. He was really energetic even when things were hectic before the convention. I can't believe that he'd get so drained so quickly. This school does encourage independence in students, and I don't like to interfere with someone who's working hard on something, but... What did you think of that golden pheasant, Lyri? Mr. Bishkikoji? Mr. Nishikikoji, yes. He even remembers his name. Amazing. I only met him the once at the snowbound battlefield, but my tribal instincts are telling me he's too dangerous to let out of sight. Yes, my coil instincts are telling me the same thing. Do you think you could go with Higure next time he goes to the company, Larry? I suggested that to Angel, but he said it was something he had to face alone. But I can't just leave this as it stands. I'll go undercover and tail him. Just like in a detective movie. Let me know if anything... It's been so long! It's been so long since he fell asleep mid-conversation. Oh! Blip. Oh, nice, you got burger. I was gonna say what kind of burger. It's gonna be a veggie burger, I just suddenly realised. But oh... I ended up having lunch really late because I woke up really late, so I'm gonna be having dinner after my stream, but I still don't know what I'm gonna have. Maybe noodles. I might have some noodles. By my title as the Apostle of the Blue Sky, Edelblau, I shall courageously tail Angel into the Golden Weekly headquarters and conduct investigations of the most covert nature. The building is right across from here, so there's no way I'll miss him as he's going in. Oh, there he is! Angel enters the building, a massive manila envelope under his wing. Is that full of comic pages? Time to go in after him. This building is actually the secret base of an evil organization. Is what I would say if it were. However, it looks perfectly normal. There are a few birds walking around inside, but nothing suspicious. I can't imagine Mr. Nishikikoji fitting into such a completely ordinary-looking company, really. Never mind a sore thumb, he must stick out like a thumb that's been nearly lost in a freak machining accident and is now attached through elaborate bandaging in a last-ditch effort to save it. Wow, that is one heck of an analogy, huh? Yup, he stands out. Hello! I'm so glad you could make it today. I've been waiting for you. Indeed. It is time for us to carve out a new creation under the auspices of the Spirit of Reason, Golden-Winged Messenger. Yes, of course. Let us engage in creative acts fueled by the finest substances of our imagination. I have secured a special room for our meeting today as well. This way, if you please. That sounds suspicious. Yeah, there's vegan chicken as well, that is true. Yeah, ooh, chili cheese fries burger. Ooh, that sounds really nice. I mean, that doesn't sound abnormal to me. Like, here in the UK, one of our... I was gonna say delicacies. It's not really a delicacy. One food that is very common here is... It's called a chip butty, and it's literally just... a sandwich with fries in the middle. It's you just make a sandwich out of chips and eat it. That's a chip butty. It's great. It's very it's just like pure carbs. It's really probably not very good for you, but it's very nice. The incredibly conspicuous golden pheasant and the similarly conspicuous bleeding heart dove disappear into a door at the end of the excessively ordinary hallway. Their conversation just now didn't sound at all suspicious. But my danger sense is tingling. No, it did sound suspicious. He said a special room. What is not suspicious about that? After them! This is the room. Huh? There's a light on above the door. It says... Operating? This is a publisher's office, right? Not a hospital. What? What? No one answers me. In any case, Angel's in danger. Enough sneaking, it's time for actions. Loud ones. Coming through! In the very unmeeting room-like room are Angel unconscious and... What is it now? The operation is in progress. Didn't you see the sign outside? The flashy pheasant drawing blood from him. Excuse me? What are you doing? You're not drawing any manga at all. You're just drawing blood. We are in the midst of a grand creative act. A beautiful artwork fashioned of his blood and mine. Saying creepy stuff like that while draining away somebody's lifeblood is an awful lot like a certain fluffy heretic. Release him! Now! Or I'll take him here by force. Oh my, how gallant. Would you be his sweetheart then? No. We two are linked by the karma of our previous lives. A diaster of the soul. I see your worldview is every bit as unique as his. Birds of a feather, eh? I had thought your face was familiar. We have met before, yes? So, you will be taking him home then. And if I were to say no? Think I can't do anything just because I'm a human girl, do you? Plenty of people have regretted that before you. Take this! Acrobatic starlight kick! Oh my, isn't that dangerous? You've knocked a hole in the floor, young lady. I rather think a direct hit might leave my beautiful plumage disgracefully singed. He dodged it? He's in better shape than the aforementioned fluffy heretic. I feel no artistry in you, but your physical ability holds value. It is beautiful. Thus the flamboyant heretic happily praises me. Oh, stop, I'll blush. Wait, no! I am Leary of St. Pigeonations. I will defeat you and bring my classmate back with me. Gallant indeed. Prepare yourself for the end, Mr. Bishkikoji. Did you just call me Bishkikoji? Did I? Maybe I did. Geez, between you and Mr. Nanaki, a girl just can't get away with a little slip of the tongue around here. And I believe this is the second time you have done so, is it not? Mr. Bishkikoji, wait, no, I mean Mr. Nishkikoji's cheerful tone of voice is suddenly gone, his words now barely audible. This must be what they call the calm before the storm. You are still a child, so perhaps you do not know. Do you understand what a serious offense it is to misspeak someone's name? Particularly my name. My name is special, because I am special. It is the only name of its kind. Nishkikoji. Tori. This is the worst affront imaginable. Did I not tell you I would make you wish you had never crawled your miserable way into this world if you misspoke it again? A flash fills the room as he shouts. What? What's happening? Whoa, the room's all messed up. What did he do that for? Good thing I got Angel and got out of the way. I could have been vaporized. Thunder? That can't be it. Some sort of laser weapon? I would rather you did not think of it as some lowly laser beam. Nishiki-Koji Masterpiece X768 Optical Ordnance Imaginal Ray. It is the ultimate weapon, utilizing young Higure's unique physical properties. Is it not beautiful? Angel's physical properties? He must be talking about that thing where he draws other people into his fantasies when he gets excited. Oh! There are two birds attached to the laser. What is this? This must violate some sort of basic avian right. I suppose this is the Ray's first introduction. Very well, I shall explain. The pheasant inflates his chest and begins his lecture. He was angry up until a minute ago, but now that he's talking about his creation, he seems pretty happy. Is his personality that simple? I don't know, but I'm gonna have a drink. Got my Monster Energy. Gotta be energized. This is a lot later than I usually stream, so it's really weird streaming at this time of day. Because oh, thank you for the posture check as well. I love it. Big stretch. Ugh. There we go. But yeah, it's like when I do my Sunday puzzle streams, that's usually like quite late at night, and then usually I stream in the very early afternoon, so this is like late afternoon, early evening. It's a different stream time for me. It's interesting. The factor behind Higure's ability to draw those around him into mass hallucinations is abundant in his blood. In other words, with his blood, anyone can have the same power. And so, it came to me to try intensifying an already powerful fantasy and converting it into energy for a weapon most doomous. Is doomous a word? Hold on, is doomous a word? I want to look this up, hold on. Isn't it a good thing I have a dictionary with me? We got doom. No, doomous is not in the dictionary. How interesting. Why am I shivering? What people on this earth have the least love for the world and live for their fantasies the most? Where could I find them? My research was long and arduous. But then I found the answer. The very best candidates were at Tokyo Big Side. Of course, it's the weeaboos. Of course, it makes perfect sense. It's all the chunibyo. That's too cruel. How could you use a couple of harmless otaku as weapons to hurt others? Cruel? Whatever do you mean? Inconceivable. It cannot be. How could they not rejoice at becoming part of my beautiful creation? They are like confused paints, to which I have added scheme, sense, artistry. Is it not wonderful? Pretty cool, so moe. Cool light grey, so moe. That sounds like disgusting paint. Wait, I think this is the first time I've seen otaku who say moe in real life. This weapon is useless. What good is it going to do now? We're not at war. Release those otaku. Useless? Oh no. It has a purpose. A very important one. I am going to use this weapon to destroy your school. What? More specifically, what lies beneath your school? And one bird there in particular. Wait, what did we do? Is this revenge for your dead parents? No. Though it is revenge. For me. Or perhaps I should call it a settlement. So it's a personal grudge then, is that it? I don't know what's going on, but I can't just stand by now that I've heard this. I'll stop you here and now. I'd like to see you try. Oh, I can't get close. Otaku truly have amazing imaginations. I can see no limits to their use. Ugh. I can't fight very well while carrying Angel either. I think I might have to pull out for now. I will stop you, Mr. Nishikikoji. I will. Please, do try. I hope you can come up with something by tomorrow. I have already gotten all the blood I need from Higure. None can stand in the path of my artistry now. And so I recovered Angel and fled from the Golden Weekly headquarters. Crazy dream, huh? It was a dream? Nope, just kidding. It remains a troubling reality. Jeez, don't confuse me like that. It looks like this is more serious than we thought. I don't think anybody would have expected to find an operating room and a giant laser in a publisher's building. I'm just glad you and Angel are okay, Larry. Forgive me. To think that my cursed blood now powers the light of dark judgment. Why would you be donating blood at a publisher's anyway? Did you notice what was happening, Angel? No. My consciousness wandered into the great void. In other words, he'd go to a meeting, be stunned, have blood taken, and then go home feeling dazed and anemic. That's too much. How did he not notice? Please. Mr. Nishikikoji said I would have to come up with something by tomorrow. I think that's when he's planning to attack. The laser at the office blasted through the floor. It was about as powerful as my Starlight kick. He probably has a more powerful version prepared if he's hoping to destroy the school. That seems likely. I tried calling the police, but they wouldn't take me seriously at all. Hey, welcome back! Calling up and saying, "Excuse me, officer, but there's a comic book editor and he wants to blow up my school with a giant laser." Probably wouldn't get more than an immediate disconnection. I guess we'll have to defend the school ourselves. It looks like it. Let's have some tea and think about it. I think I'll have peach tea. I would like melon soda. I would like the pulsating blood blessed by earth and sky and blood orange juice. House Kitty, hello! Yes, the pigeons are back and I'm so excited. I love these Christmas stories so much. At the moment, Angel has been scouted by a publishing company for his manga, except it's not actually that. They're stealing his blood and making a super laser to destroy the school, so it's going well. You three are awfully relaxed. Who is Mr. Nishikikoji trying to get revenge on anyway? Since he's targeting the school, it must be a student or teacher here, but... Blum. So you got another proposal accepted, huh? The second division sure is impressive. Oh, naturally. We are talking about me here, after all. I feel terrible for all the biologists here, having to work under an empty-headed bird like you. I can't see any reason why the biologists here would need pity from you. What's that? Who is he? One of yours? Oh, is this the first time you two have met? This is our newest friend, Isa Soma. Come on, Isa, say hello to Nishiki-koji. I am Isa. A useless leader, and researchers who don't even know how to greet their betters. The future of the biology division is the bleakest thing I have ever seen. What are you talking about? Isa's great. He'll probably be the department head someday. I bet you two will get along just fine. Again? My results cannot be inferior to his. This is a dream. Just a bad dream. Isa Soma. I can never claim the spotlight as long as he is here. But I must be the best. I've already decided I must. I was worried about that feral, but he was no trouble. Our spheres of research never overlapped. Nothing good has come of Isa's taking over the division. My beautiful, glorious second optical weapons division. How can its name be so trodden to the ground? Isa's origins are a mystery. Something is definitely not right here. The value they place in him must be mistaken. Only his proposals ever get accepted. My talents will rot in his shadow. This tragedy reeks of deceit and intrigue. I have no wish for depravity and decay. I shall gladly leave. The next day. Today is Mr. Nishiki-koji's silly Destroy Saint Pigeonations with a Giant Laser Day! Yeah! Second Optical Laser Division sold. Sold. It's almost like soldering iron. We have to protect our school! Oh, it's Yuya! Salutations, mon ami. This is Sakazaki. I'm in front of the Golden Weekly HQ. Over. Report situation. Everything's as you predicted. There's a giant laser inside the building. It's installed on the roof, and I think they're adjusting the aim. Take a look with a telescope. They're preparing already? Where'd I put the telescope? Failure to act with speed in such a situation is... Here, use this. Thank you. You're always so well prepared, Sakuya. Let's see, the building should be over... Oh, it's huge! It appears to be charging up. What is wrong with Japan's public security forces? Why is he able to have a weapon like that? My thoughts exactly. Given the size... I knew it. He's got even more otaku hooked up than the two I saw yesterday. This is too much. If he turns the fantasies and delusions of that many otaku into power for a weapon, it might just be unstoppable. We could be obliterated at any moment. What are situations like this called again? Attention or die? Emergencies? Yes, those! Can't you even remember basic English terminology? Humans, I swear. Anyway, we need to prepare. Aren't you on defense? Leave observation to me and return to your station. Yes, sir. That's right. I have the extremely important job of defending whatever attack comes our way. This is a real battle. If we fail, the school burns. My blood is boiling already. Ah, Larry, we were waiting for you. Hurry, we need to get ready. Sorry to keep you waiting. The hour of judgment draws near. We must disrupt the light of dark judgment with arcane waves. Angel, Ryota, Mr. Nanaki and I are on defense. Time for Operation Pretty Cool Shield. Fight fire with fire and hallucinogenic Filipino dove powers with hallucinogenic Filipino dove powers. If Mr. Nishikikoji can power his weapon with Angel's abilities, we can fight him off with those same abilities. If we try hard enough and believe in each other, Angel's powers can make us all into magical girls. Ryota is cool grey! Mr. Nanaki is cool light grey! I'm cool dark grey! And Angel is the fairy who granted the pretty cool girls their mighty powers. Haricot! Hey War, how's it going? Nice to see you. I hope your food was nice. How many versions of this game are there? There's just the main game, and then there's Holiday Star, which is the Christmas spin-off. But yeah, these are the only 2 games for now. Hee. But yeah, this one is like there's 4 standalone stories, then there's a bunch of like short individual episodes, and then there's also radio shows. And I'm not sure what that entails because I've never actually clicked on that before, but we will see. I say for now because it's wishful thinking. It's just me. I love the pigeons. I want more. I want more pigeon content. Pure wishful thinking. Also, I hate that I'm looking at these branches in the background here, and my brain is just going, oh, it's like the Witness. That's like a Witness puzzle. Look at that. The Witness has ruined me. Or has it just made me stronger? Who knows? With the 4 of us together, we can raise a pretty cool barrier to protect the school from Mr. Nishikikoji's nefarious plans. Are we really going to save the school with a joke like this? This isn't a joke. This is pretty cool! I'm not sure, Louis. Would a pretty cool shout like that? I shall invoke the defensive right of old, shining pretty cool field. Angel's giving it his all. We just have to believe in each other, okay? We can do this. Also, thank you so much for the hydrate too. Yes, I need to drink more. I need to hydrate more. I keep forgetting to drink, and there's so much reading. So much reading in this game. I need to remember to take more little sips. Little sips. I need to get like a little... As terrible as this is gonna sound, like, you know, like the baby cups where they're like the sippy cups, but if you knock them over they don't spill anything? I need a cup like that. I need to get myself a cup like that because I always keep my drinks a little bit away from my computer because I have a terrible tendency of knocking them over. But it also means that because the drink's not there, I don't just drink it. But if I had like a little sippy cup, I feel like I would probably take little sippies a lot more frequently. I'll have to look into that. But yes, that's why I'm glad you're here though. You guys will always make sure I'm hydrated. An excellent day. Hardly a cloud obscures Japan's lovely face, and every corner and recess of Little Dove City is laid bare before me. The ghosts of the past which have pained me these long years, that damnable partridge who was always in my way, and the institution which let my genius wither. It is time to say farewell to them all. I shall wash them clean away, and then it will be time to step into a brand new world of imagination. As the sun rises above, a new...
Chief Editor, sir, should we set the deadline for this year's New Face Award to the end of March like last year?
Oh, yes. Also, we've got Takakishi Poe doing the announcement cut, so make sure to follow up with him.
Got it. Thanks, sir.
Where was I again? Anyway, this is not only revenge, this is a ceremony which I must undergo to usher in my new self. Tremble, Philistines. Be awed by the artistry of my beautiful creation. I'll expect an apology in the next world, Isa Soma! It's starting! Come on, Angel! Light of magic and hope that twists throughout this world, grant the chosen ones the power to defend this land.
Pretty cool! Open my Hato!
A single flower blooming in the asphalt road. Cool grey. A single flower swaying in the exhaust fumes. Cool light grey.
You know what? I've got to be Moe here.
A single flower. A single flower shredded by the BB gun's rage. Cool dark grey.
Moe Kyun!
We want to become seniors here and graduate. We won't let you destroy our school. I just finished grading the proficiency tests and it was a lot of work. Couldn't you at least wait until after I've returned them? I don't really want to think about how I did on my proficiency tests, so I guess even if the school got destroyed, it wouldn't be all that. You must not let your heart waver, Edelblau. Right, I'm scared about my tests, but it would be worse to let our school be blown away. Mr. Nishikikoji, your plot ends here. Pretty cool barrier! Wah! Ding, ding, ding. It's holding! We can do it! We can save the school! Ah, I see. You recover remarkably quickly, Higure Angel. Or perhaps you remain able to manifest delusions even when weakened. But did you really think I didn't have a backup plan? Uh-oh. Prepare to trigger the fangirls! Something's happening, Glary. What is it? He's adding power. The second attack will come soon. Uh-oh.
Tsundere Racing Dove Ukimoe! Semi-pink pelican moe!
The first wave was just a ranging shot. I've got more than just moe-loving pigs after all. I have heard that the fantasies of fangirls far surpass those of any fanboy. Watch and be destroyed! Hurry, we need to block it! It's too much, Cool Dark Grey. We do seem to be getting squeezed. Why do the birds have a tank? This is the second tank we've experienced so far. The first story also had a tank. There's an overarching theme here. Anyway, this is a laser beam powered by otaku. So my evil half truly does have the power to destroy this world. We can't give up. We have to defend the school. We're the only ones who can. Cool. Everything's all sparkly. Oh no.
Merry Christmas? Merry Christmas! We can't give up yet!
Cool, we cannot.
Merry Christmas! We have to help the pretty girls with our miracle pigeon night! Papa!
Cool, you can do it, pretty course.
Don't give up! You can do it! You are pretty cool!
I can hear everyone cheering us on. Pretty girls are warriors of love. Their kindness makes us stronger. It's very reassuring, isn't it? You still resist? Pitiful. Allow me to end it for you. Remove all limiters. Output to maximum.
he's tsundere and noble, so he must be the uke? You dumb newbie. Everybody knows Racing Dove X Tree Sparrow is practically canon. But butlers are so hot. Blackwing Still X Pink Pelican is the best.
What is this? Why is the energy converter becoming so unstable? It's shipping wars. Your time of judgment has come. You who would have used the blood of the Crimson Angel of Judacia to sate your greed. Golden-winged messenger. Pure spirits of light, gather and strike his golden hue. Shining pretty cool burst. We did it. We did it! We did it, Angel! We deflected the Otaku laser! Look, the Golden Week building is practically destroyed. Yes, that abominable evil has been checked. They probably won't be back in business for a little while.
I wasn't sure we could do it. I'm so glad the school's okay.
This was my sin. I should have realized sooner that he meant to harvest my blood for evil. Forgive me. Don't worry about it, Angel. All's well that ends well.
It was Mr. Nishikikoji's fault anyway. It's wrong for an adult to go around tricking high school students like that.
Try not to get tricked by any more bad grown-ups, okay? Trust nobody, not even yourself. Yes, I shall carve this lesson into my crimson chest, sage of nightmares. I did not account for this in my calculations. My creation was perfect. It was the materials that failed me. Those fangirls' fantasies were dreadful. No one told me their energies would be so unharmonious. It wouldn't have broken down if it weren't for those fangirls. Oh well. No doubt he saw the power of my artistry. This was a declaration of war. Golden Weekly Chief Editor Nishikikoji Tori speaking. Ah, Mr. Nishikikoji. This was very childish and irresponsible of you, understand? I want you to think about what you've done. Shut up! This isn't over yet! Wow. Even his closing line sounded like something a movie villain would say after his evil organization is destroyed and he has no chance of winning.
When did you get him to give you his number?
I mean, it was on his business card. Anyway, it looks like he'll probably retreat for now. Hopefully we won't see him again anytime soon. I guess this means your manga is back to square one, Angel. But don't worry, I know you can do it. Be not afraid, Edelblau. The star that shines within my soul has not yet lost its luster. You always try your best, so I'm sure you'll debut one day. And I'll be there when you do. Wow, Angel debut? Angel debut soon? Yes, debut time, Angel? Now then. Salutations, mon ami. Good work. Yuya, how do things look over there? I hope no one's killed. Don't worry. The building is badly damaged, but we've already extracted everyone who was kidnapped from the big site. We've got it from here. Good work. Thanks, Yuya. So even that mongrel can make himself useful once in a while. He has all sorts of shady connections, so he's really nice to have around in situations like this. Looks like everything's settled. Aww. Actually, who was Mr. Nishikikoji trying to get revenge on? Maybe I'll call him up and ask later. Oh dear. Am I letting myself catch cold? Perhaps I should have brought an extra sweater. Fallen Chronicles, Absolute Zero, Finn. I love that the achievement for that one is called Golden Madness. This is great though, because I'm getting the achievements as I go along, because when I played this, it was not on Steam, so I haven't actually played it since it was added to Steam. This is my run. It's been so many years as well, it's so nice. I've forgotten how it all goes. But yes, second story down! On to the third one! How exciting. Here we go. What's this one? This one is The Day the Night Slept, Dazzling Night on Dreaming Star. Ruler of the stars, the dreaming king. The path to his kingdom quietly awakens in the sleeping night sky. We must not miss the train. We cross the glowing river. We follow the obsidian map into the world of shadows. Please enter your name. Please remember my name. It's a very easy name to remember. You only need to remember one of them, and you got both. Is Lyri okay? Yep, that's my name. That's not my name. Oh, Nagaki time! I am not here. It's almost the end of the year, and Nagaki just came out to him. So proud of him for that. Love you, Nagaki. So, good job coming out. I always had my suspicions. What do you... Oh, he came out as a ghost, okay. I believe I am what you would refer to as a ghost, bound to the place of my death, or something like that. I only ever see him in the library, but I just thought he was a shut-in. I never expected this. I've seen 1,000 wonders in my time, but even I'm a little surprised. Of course, he's still Nagaki. It's not like we can't be together anymore. No matter who or what he is, he's still my friend. This won't change anything. You are very strange, Miss Lyri. Shouldn't you pick your friends a little more carefully? What are you talking about? I can be friends with a ghost if I want. I'm already a friend with a ghost. I'm already friends with a ghost, it's fine. I'm gonna be friends with all of the ghosts. I need to find more ghosts to befriend. So I can be friends with a ghost. I can even get a ghost to draw my emotes for me. Hee hee hee. Hee hee hee. Check out Ghost Aficionado. He drew all my emotes. He's also a ghost. Anyway, right, well, where was I? I'm gonna have a drink. There we go. Man, Nagaki's story, like, the first time I ever did that, years and years and years ago, I think I actually cried. Oh, thank you for doing the shout out as well. But yeah, I think when I did Nagaki's story for the first time, I genuinely cried. Like, I got so emotional over it. It's one of the best things about this game, like, the whole way it's presented as just like a giant shitpost of a game. And it kind of is at points. Like, it doesn't take itself seriously sometimes, and I love it for that, but it's also got such a deep story underneath it as well. It's just, oh, I love this game. I love this game. I cannot recommend this game enough. I love it. That's all for today. See you all tomorrow. Half days always remind you that it's the end of the semester, huh? Indeed. There is perhaps a week left. Aw, that's so lonely. I want to stay in class 2-3 a little longer. Oh, Oko-san feels lonely too. Oko-san does not want to be thrown out of this classroom. Why not repeat a year if you want to stay that much? Repeating a year in high school would be a little much. You don't mind, Sakuya? You don't feel sad that we might all split up at the end of the year? Not at all. Group mentality is for the weak. You sound a bit unsure of yourself there, Sakuya. Are you getting the feels? You know, you get the feels? Boy, no, I got the feels. I guess I'm one of the weak then. I hope we'll all be in the same class again next year. With Mr. Nanaki. Well, I hope I see you all in the spring too. The year is almost over, meaning I'm almost through at the library too. I should be heading over there about now. Oh, could you wait a moment? Huh? We're not done? Sorry, I forgot to tell you all something. They'll be opening the school the night after tomorrow. Opening the school? At night?
Is it some sort of school-wide bravery challenge?
A grand tournament of guts to close the year. Perfect to make the blood boil and the flesh crawl. Think of the memories we'll make.
I don't want to make those memories.
Unfortunately, that's not it. It's the Astronomy Club's activity night. The Astronomy Club? We have an Astronomy Club? Okay. Meaning, the Astronomy Club used to do a lot of serious observation, but after a while their activities devolved into bonfire mixer parties. After a long and circuitous tale, they turned into a cult and worshipped the bonfire as a god, and the student council had to enact punitory measures. If you want to hear more about their story, go buy that thing and listen to it. You know the thing? The one that isn't out in English? Ah, the thing. That thing. The one that is not out in English. I wonder if it is out in English. It's not going to be out in English. That's probably the audio drama. There's a bunch of audio dramas released in Japanese, but of course, because of it being audio and voice actors Japanese, I don't think there's been like an English version. I wonder if anyone's done a fan version though. That would be interesting to look up. I might have to look that up afterwards.
Will people even know what to buy from that description, Larry?
Ooh, it's stealth marketing! Stealth marketing! It didn't sound very stealthy to me. A true samurai is never stealthy. So the Astronomy Club have started having activities again? That's right, though the bonfires are still banned. There's going to be a total lunar eclipse that night. We decided to open up the roof so everyone could see. You don't need to be a member of the Astronomy Club to come. Everyone's welcome. A total lunar eclipse? That sounds exciting. Man, I love Luna. Stan Luna. And Kim Lip's eclipse. I'm so sorry, I need to shut up. Who knows when another one will happen? I think I'll go. I heard there's gonna be a radical lunar eclipse, Nageki.
It's a total lunar eclipse, Miss Leary. Not a radical lunar eclipse.
No, I'm sure it will be pretty radical as well, dude. Nageki's stare is like the frigid wind of a Siberian winter night. Have you ever seen one, Nageki?
Perhaps. I may have, or I may not have. I do not remember.
I suppose he did only just realize that he's dead a few days ago. His memory must still be foggy. They're opening the school at night the day after tomorrow so we can see it. Wanna watch it with me, Nageki? We could have a moon viewing party in the library.
The moon's going to be eclipsed. I'm not sure how much of a moon viewing party that would be. Wouldn't we have a better view from the roof anyway?
Oh, yeah. It is going to be open after all, but can you get out of here?
If it's to the roof, then yes.
Hold it! Dun 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 dun. What, really? Aren't you trapped in here?
Perhaps I didn't tell you. I can't leave the library, but I can move straight up and down. To the chemistry lab directly underneath us, for instance.
Mobility vertical only. That's amazing. I'll have to train my legs so that one day I can move like that too. So you'll be able to join us on the roof?
Yep.
Yay! That's amazing, Nageki.
Really? I'm not sure I see what good it does us.
Just think about it. We can go sunbathing on the roof during lunch breaks and stuff. Focus, this is Hatoful boyfriend, not Ace Attorney. I've already done the detective stuff in the first story. I need to hold it. I'm sorry. Ah, I'm getting excited already.
I suppose so. But you're always taking naps on the library windowsill anyway, so I don't think it will be all that different.
Geez, Nagaki, isn't a change of scene supposed to be romantic? Anyway, let's watch the eclipse together. If you want to? Just kidding, haha. Unless... Wink wink.
Well, alright.
Yes. Yay! Yay!
You're awfully enthusiastic.
Of course I am. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Yay! Important notice. Bum 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 bum. Please be aware. This episode contains spoilers for the Inugami Clan by Yokomizo Seishi. I don't know what that is. It's fine. It's fine. Spoiler warning. If you're gonna read that Japanese novel, please be aware there are spoilers. If you're reading it or plan to read it, you may want to wait until after that to play this game. Yasu did it. What? Wait, otherwise, enjoy the ride! It'd be so funny if that was the spoiler, just the little thumbnail there going like, Yasu did it. The promised night of the total lunar eclipse. And not a cloud in the sky. Perfect for a moon viewing party. Why do I keep saying moon viewing? It's an eclipse, the moon is gonna be blocked. I'm not sure it's exactly a moon viewing party, but I am glad it's clear. The weather report said it might get cloudy after all. It's cold up here, so make sure to stay warm, everyone.
I see you even brought a blanket, sir.
Yes, this blanket always helps me relax. Wake up, you fool! Aren't you supposed to be the chaperone? Looks like the regular crew is all here. Meeting up in the school at night like this is so exciting. Ooh, it is a full moon! Oko-san's bestial heritage awakens! Cool, cool! Can you feel your bestial inner selves calling, Gliri, Nagaki?
My bestial inner self? I don't think I have one.
I can, Oko-san. My hunter-gatherer blood boils.
Looking at you, I almost wonder if there ever really was a time when humans ruled the earth, Miss Leary.
Wow. That is incredibly rude, but also, yeah, I get that. Cool, cool. Oko-san thinks Leary is probably not a human. Oh, crap. Oh, crap, they're onto me. I don't have a hat or anything. I can't hide my ears. I don't have anything to hide my ears with. Oh no, pretend everything is fine. I'm human. I am human. No! I am a human. I have a hood. No, I don't. It's just a cloak. It doesn't actually have a hood attached to it. It's just a fluffy collar with a... Oh wait, no, I do. I have a hood here, but I don't have one in Hatoful land. Quick, imagine my ears are covered. I'm human. Can the others even see him? Oko-san doesn't seem to be having any trouble, but Oko-san is very weird, so... I've heard that animals can see ghosts, so maybe the same is true of older breeds. What about Ryota?
Oh, hi, Nagaki. I thought you only ever showed up in the library. Indeed.
You can see him just fine. Maybe Ryota and I are attuned with the paranormal. Oh, thank you for the hydrate as well. Let's have a drink. I was going to say let's have a drinky drink. It's not a drinky drink, it's just a regular drink. Sakuya. Is there really someone there? Yup. You can't see him? Kind of a skinny mourning dove?
I am not surprised. Most birds haven't paid attention to me until now.
I am not sure I believe it. Is this a joke? Yeah, we're just pulling a prank on Sakuya. It's just like the most elaborate prank. Gently gaslighting Sakuya into thinking there's somebody there when there isn't. We are gaslighting. I am the girl boss. Where's the gatekeeping? No. No, but it's okay. No, it's real. No! Though if it were, I bet you'd fall for it completely. Cool. Only birds who are pure of heart can see him. Oko-san is pure! What? Do you mean to mock me, filthy mongrel? Aw, jeez, don't fight, you two. It's Moon Night, don't fight. Doves aren't usually nocturnal, are they? Why do they all have so much energy?
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Ah, these two have too much energy as well. I had hoped they would calm down once Christmas was past, but it would seem that they became excited in response to any sort of special event. Oh, that makes it fun. Doctor! You're here to see the eclipse too? I suppose I am. It is certainly an interesting phenomenon, and these two insisted on seeing it.
Merry Christmas! It's hide and seek! Mr. Moon is playing hide and seek!
I guess it kind of is. The moon is hiding. Hide and seek. Yes, no gatekeeping, no gaslighting. But plenty of girl bosses, that's fine. We'll just go girl boss, girl boss, girl boss. We got it. Right, well, everyone seems to be having fun. It's almost midnight. Look at the sky, everyone. It should start soon. Nagaki! It's starting!
You don't need to shout. I can hear you perfectly well. You'll bother the neighbors.
Oh, it's the middle of the night! I forgot! Yeah, it's funny. The moon is feminine in Spanish and masculine in the rest of languages. That is interesting. I always wonder how genders are assigned to words, because of course there's in German there's der, die, das, depending on the word. In French there is the same as well. Il, elle, elle? I don't know French very well, it's fine. But yeah, there's nothing like that in English, so every time I see it, I'm like, what makes a word masculine or feminine? It's interesting. It's very interesting, and it's also the reason why I would probably be terrible at any language, because I would just mess it up constantly. It's I feel like there's also some which have different implications. If you depending on the gender, it's in German. It's just roll a die to see what it is. It's just, the rule is that there are no rules. Have fun. That sounds a lot like English pronunciation. I before E, except after C, and if you go on a weird heist with a feisty beige neighbor, it's it's the rules are so handy sometimes, but then you look back on it and you're like, wow, there really are no rules. We are all just chaos. It's just true chaos. It's why I like languages which have such set pronunciation in general. Japanese I love because you can generally look at a word, you can look at the hiragana or the katakana for a word, and you know how it's meant to be pronounced. The closest it gets is dropping the u from su sometimes. So desu becomes des. But it's for the most part, it's just you know how it's going to be pronounced, and I love that. I love it, please. More guaranteed things, it's nice. Pacific Ocean, oh my goodness, each sea has a different pronunciation, you are so right. And then there's even the silent C's as well, and the silent P's, and it's why are you sticking that letter there if you're not even going to pronounce it? Who the heck would expect, you'd hear the word science? Science. You would not expect that to start with SC. It's... It's so strange, it's so interesting. But it's like, I guess the way that language has evolved over the years, it kind of makes sense that it would get a bit warped along the way, because communication has been around for years and years and years, and like even just looking at differences between like Old English and medieval English compared to nowadays, it has changed considerably. It's fascinating. Anyway, yeah, it's the middle of the night, I forgot. Nagaki? Can I sit next to you? Teehee.
Go ahead.
I can't tell if his feathers are warm or cold. I can barely even tell that I'm touching them at all. That's probably because he's a ghost. It could be just my imagination. But sitting here gazing up at the night sky, he looks happier than usual. Seeing his face makes me feel warm inside. This must all be my imagination.
The eclipse is starting.
Ooh! Eclipse time. Huh? I can see no one else on the train. It is very quiet. Is this the last train? It's dark outside. I look up and address the dove leaning his head out the window opposite. Don't stick your head out too far, Nagaki.
I won't.
It looks so strange outside. What are those lights flowing by? Why are you in a train now? Look, I'm just going with it. I have no idea. Yeah. In German, you pronounce every single syllable the same, except words imported from French. That makes sense. That's another thing about language. Like, there are so many loan words. Like, there's some words from different languages that then also take up the pronunciation of that language as well. Like, I'm pretty sure duvet is from French, like a duvet cover, and that's got a T on the end. And because it is French, you do not pronounce the T. Yeah, it's interesting. It looks so strange outside. What are those lights flowing by? Are we next to a river?
I think so. The River of Stars, that is.
The River of Stars?
The Milky Way. Those are stars, you see.
Oh, so that's it? I see blue stars and green ones and all colours.
There are indeed a great variety.
There are. Nagaki takes a black planisphere out from somewhere and points at it.
We're here, near Cygnus.
Hey, Cygnus! Like a cygnet, like a swan.
Cygnus.
Is that a constellation?
That's right. Maybe you know it as the swan.
I'm a genius. I know Latin. I know words. Maybe. Maybe I do know something. Oh yes. I know that one. So Cygnus is the swan. I never knew.
The bright one we just passed is Deneb. I think we'll see Alberio in a few minutes.
What are words? I don't know. I think, I remember, like, little bits from my childhood. When I was young, I used to be obsessed with, planets and constellations. I had a big map of, like, the solar system on my wall. Like, this is when I was tiny, like 3 or 4, and I used to know every single planet and every single moon. And I think back on it now and I'm like, I don't even know one, maybe. It's like I will remember names and I'll be like, I remember this. I don't know what it is, but I know it's astronomy related. Like, seeing Deneb now just made me think, Deneb, Vega, Altair? Not sure what that is. Maybe they are all stars. Maybe they're part of the same constellation. I don't know. I'll look it up afterwards. Yeah, Destiny helps knowing the moons of Jupiter. Definitely does, yeah. You know a lot, Nagaki. I was always told that every hunter-gatherer needs to be able to find Polaris, but other than that, I don't know any of them. It's like one of the constellations that I always was able to point out in the sky, and probably still could. Orion's Belt. Hold on, actually, I just want to Google something very quickly. Orion's Belt is, yes, an asterism in the constellation Orion. No, that is, no, I had a thought of like maybe Deneb, Vega, and Altair are the 3 stars from that, but they're not. It's Alnitak, Alninam, and Mintaka is the name of the stars in that. Anyway. Oh, Deneb, Vega, and Altair are the summer triangle. Okay. Man, I can't believe I still remember that. Just from my very tiny toddler brain being obsessed with stars. Cool. The summer triangle. Yeah, I feel like I'd be able to point that out in the sky as well, which is quite fun. I don't know which star is which though. It's all good. But yeah, I think each of the stars from that is in a different constellation. Oh yeah, Deneb is actually part of Cygnus, the constellation. And then the other 2 are part of different constellations. Altair is part of Aquila, which is Latin for eagle. And then Vega is part of Lyra, the constellation. One of the modern 88 constellations recognized by the International Astronomical Union. Cool, I'm gonna stop looking at stars before I get even more distracted, but I love that. Oh, you know all the dinosaurs by name. Yeah, I also did have a small period of loving dinosaurs. It's like, I'd be able to identify some of them, I think. Like basic ones like the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Stegosaurus, Triceratops. Now, do you say Diplodocus or Diplodocus? Because I heard people say Diplodocus a lot, and I'm like, it's a Diplodocus. But yeah. Anyway, I digress. We're on a train with Nagaki. I'm sorry, I'm getting so distracted.
Yeah. If we passed its tail and are nearing the head, we must be traveling from north to south. But the Swan is a summer constellation. It's a little early for us to be seeing it from the northern hemisphere.
It's still the 3rd semester after all. Wait, Nagaki. When did we get onto this train? Oh, that took a while. Just say it the Spanish way. Yeah, that would make sense with the whole being Spanish thing.
Who knows?
Where are we going?
I don't know.
And the train is going through outer space?
It would seem so.
What do I do? We're finally on a date in outer space, and I forgot my spacesuit. What will happen if I go into a vacuum without a spacesuit on? Will I explode?
The window's been open the entire time.
Close it, Nagaki, before we explode. Yeah, what about oxygen too? Yeah, like, how are we breathing? How are we alive?
Calm down, Miss Leary. It's all right. This is probably just a dream.
A dream? That's right. Nagaki can move vertically, but he still can't leave the school. There's no way we could be on a train together. What were we doing?
Astronomy.
Oh, right! We were watching the eclipse on the roof with everyone. Does this mean we fell asleep in the middle of the eclipse?
Perhaps. It's a little bit cliché, but you could try pinching your cheek.
Oh, yes! It doesn't hurt. It feels kind of unsatisfying.
I feel the same as always. But if you don't feel normal, this must be a dream.
I see. I see. That's too bad. Going on a trip with you would be so much fun, but it's just a dream.
I don't mind if it is.
He continues staring out the window at the pale stars. He seems more open than usual. Cuddling can have that effect that you fall asleep, yeah. Just snuggle up with the warmth. I guess he's right. We should enjoy ourselves, even if it is just a dream. We will be checking tickets now. Please have them ready as the conductor comes by. Howdy there, please show me your tickets. Oh, I'm scared of this conductor. Conductor appears without a sound. I never felt him coming. He's as good as the doctor. Wait, have I met you somewhere before? Could be. I see too many people every day to know. I really feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh god, no, I've just realized that is the bird that appears on the game over screen when you die in the main game. And it says your pitiful life has ended. That's him. This is the Grim Reaper. I think we may be in limbo right now. I think the roof is not safe. This is not a good situation. Oh god. Maybe it's just a coincidence? Anyway, tickets, please. Tickets? You mean we need to pay to ride the train even though it's a dream? Oh. I see you have a scorpion flame, sir. The planosphere gets you one for free. Wow. You get a free ride, Nagaki? Oh, thank you for the hydrate as well. Yeah. I'll have a drink. And you know what as well? Sorry for taking a break, but I have a chocolate orange. And I keep looking over at it, and it's so tempting. I'm gonna have some chocolate. So, yeah. I love chocolate oranges. I love them so much. Fun fact, when I open this, I don't know if other places have the chocolate oranges actually. It's literally just like a big round ball of chocolate, like orange flavored chocolate that's segmented. Like there's all like different sections which are like orange slices, and basically you have to hit it very hard, and when you hit it all of the segments will separate, and it's very nice and separate, and then you can just pull the little wedges out and you've got a little chocolate wedge. It's so nice. And when I was opening this one, Xander had a pair of pliers. He held it up like a baseball bat and said, "Throw it at me." And so of course I did, and the pliers were very small, and he basically just ended up punching it full force. So Xander punched my chocolate orange. It worked perfectly. It segmented it excellently, but it was very funny. He was just like, "Ow." But yeah, I am such a sucker for orange chocolate. I swear, it's like, it's another thing about Christmas as well. Like, it's not Christmas if I don't have chocolate orange in my stocking. It's like, I know there's a tradition of having an orange in a stocking, I think. I think that's a tradition for something somehow. I don't actually know it for sure, but for me it's become a tradition of having a chocolate orange. So there's always a chocolate orange in the bottom of my stocking. It's very nice. But yeah, any kind of milk chocolate with fruit flavoring, that's my favorite type of chocolate, I think. I'm a big fan of like strawberry creams, where it's like the chocolate and then it's got like a strawberry cream filling in the middle. Those are my favorites. The chocolate orange is a very close second. Wow, you get a free ride, Nagaki?
I don't remember getting this anywhere.
Of course not. The scorpion flame is a treasure passed down only to the chosen ones. Space can be a dangerous place for someone without one of those. Take good care of it. Never, ever, ever give it to anyone, no matter how they ask.
Alright.
It is a far cry from what a middle schooler might use in a science fair project. It looks antique and valuable. The stars aren't printed on the surface, and instead glitter almost with their own light. Strawberry creams, yes, they are my favourite chocolates. So nice. Are those real gemstones? And you, miss? You don't have a planisphere, do you? I need to pay a fare too? Of course you do. Only the one with the planisphere gets on for free. Ah, what a financially troubling dream. What do I do? Do I have anything I could use as a ticket? Here. What is that? It's the fortune I drew at the temple on New Year's. You've been holding on to it for a while. Ah, that's a ticket for the green car. It is? You can stay here if you want, but you could move to the celebrity car. See you around. The celebrity car? Oh, what a convenient dream. Wouldn't it be so nice if that worked in real life? Like, you could get a train and just decide what you wanted the ticket to be. The train will be stopping for a few moments to wait for signals. So there are traffic signals in outer space? It would seem so. Though, one would think that with so much room they could arrange it so that the train would never have to stop. Yeah. Oh, Nagaki! There's a station! We aren't really trying to get anywhere anyway. Wanna get off?
Station? Didn't they just say we were stopping to wait for signals?
But there's a platform and everything. Look, it says Southern Cross Line, the King's Station. Let's get off.
Alright, let's go.
Oh, this is so pretty. I forgot how pretty this is. Look at this. Wow, it's wonderful. It's like we're in a fairy tale. What a pretty town, Nagaki. I'm getting excited already.
Indeed. It's almost like we're dreaming.
We are. We can look around a little, right? Let's see what there is to see and then get back on the train. It's not like we're headed anywhere in particular, after all.
That's true, but the station's gone.
Huh? I turn around and the station is indeed gone. The aged platform has disappeared, leaving only the palely glowing tracks running off into the distance. Maybe this is like that thing in adventure games where we can't leave until we've completed some more events?
Who knows? We can't leave this star for now anyway.
In that case, we'll just have to see its sights until it's sorry. Where do you want to go, Nagaki? We don't have a map, so should we just wander around?
I don't think the planisphere will help us find our way around this star. I'm fine with anywhere. Anywhere you want to go, Miss Louie.
So I get to be his escort? Leave it to me. My hunter-gatherer instincts are telling me. Excuse me?
You must be guests from away. Welcome to the holiday star.
We are addressed by a somewhat vague-looking dove. He must be a local? This is the holiday star?
That's right. The holiday star. A happy name. Very happy indeed. We celebrate our holiday which never ends. This is a happy star. This must be your first time here. Why not go pay your respects to the ruler of this planet, the Dreaming King, our lord?
We're meeting the king already? What a forward king he must be.
Is that palace in the distance where he lives? Yes, it is. If you head straight for the light atop its tower, you will be there before you know it.
Getting invited to see the king as soon as we arrive is definitely VIP treatment. Let's go! Oh, look at that throne. The palace was impressive from the outside, but it's even more kingly on the inside. The citizen we talked to earlier said the king would be in here, but... His Royal Highness, the King. Hello. I am the king. Did he just announce himself? Maybe that's how they do things around here. Yeah, honestly, it's so relaxing. It's such a dreamy dream world. So nice. The crowned bird sets himself down on his magnificent throne. He doesn't quite seem dignified, or maybe he seems a little humble, or... At any rate, he's a very forward king.
You are the king?
Yes, the king is the king of this star. He's very assertive in an extremely plain way. The king asked, "Are you from the outside? You have a very nice planisphere." "Yes, we're from Little Dove Hachiman City, from St. Pigeonations." "It sparkles and is pretty." The king thought he would like it.
This?
That's so rude. How can you ask for someone's things as soon as you meet them? Are you a selfish character, Mr. King? Oh no. Oh no, we upset the king.
That was too harsh, Miss Leary. You've made the king sad.
He's kind of a wimpy king.
You can't have this, though. I was told not to give it to anyone. I'm sorry.
The king does not mind. The king is not crying. The king asked, "Would you listen to the king's request instead?" Request? The king and his people are troubled. Troubled by the new restaurant at the edge of the Crystal Forest. I would think that restaurants opening at a tourist draw would be perfectly normal. Birds who go into the new restaurant don't come out. They go in, but never come out. Once they go in, they don't come back out. Those who come out can't go in. Do you understand?
So, people are disappearing inside the restaurant?
Well, this got creepy awfully quick. The king was very scared. The king cried. The king asked you, who have come from outside, if you could investigate. I guess wandering travelers will always get asked to run errands if they talk to the king, no matter where and when they are. What do you think, Nagaki? Should we accept?
We don't have other plans. This could kill some time.
An investigation which smacks of intrigue and danger could kill some time? You're awfully bold, Nagaki. I like the cut of your jib. Understood, Mr. King. Leave it to us. This seems a bit different than building snowmen. Yeah, just a little bit. Hi, Kohenharu. Nice to see you. Welcome to Christmas Pigeons. At the moment, we are in a dream world in space, and we are on a star, and we are doing a quest for the king. This is just like it's a general RPG quest. It's like, talk to the king. We are the travelers. We get a quest from the king. We must complete the quest. Oh, I wonder what the reward will be. Ooh. We gotta do this. Look how pretty this is, though. I love this. Yeah, dream world in space on a star with pigeons. It's just a regular day. It's just how it always is. How's your day going? Nice to see you. We've been walking, following the king's somewhat inexact directions for about half an hour. Is this the crystal forest the king mentioned?
There do appear to be crystals.
Oh, thank you for the hydrate as well. I'll take a sip. Of course, with everything in the kingdom as sparkly as it is, this forest really doesn't stand out at all.
That is correct. This is the Crystal Forest.
Huh? Jeez, he startled me. Doesn't anyone here know to make their presence known beforehand? Ah, procrastinating at work and preparing for Christmas shopping. Oh, good luck with that. If this is the Crystal Forest, then the restaurant should be nearby. You know, this is just making me think of, there used to be an educational game I played when I was younger called the Crystal Rainforest. And I used to love that game so much. That game was so fun. I think I already have everything for Christmas as well. There's only a few things I still need to sort out, but that's not a priority because it's for people I'm seeing over New Year, so there's still plenty of time. Plenty of time until the New Year starts. Yeah, if this is the Crystal Forest, then the restaurant should be nearby. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Miru and Kaku are hungry!
Well, wait! Miru, Kaku! What's wrong? Did you suddenly turn into New Year's characters? You do realize New Year's Day is over already too, right?
Merry Christmas! That's true! Merry Christmas! Miru and Kaku felt lonely because everyone forgot about Christmas. Merry Christmas! But Christmas will always live on in Miru and Kaku's hearts! Merry Christmas!
Oh good. It would really be a little much for them to suddenly change themes that soon after being introduced. Oh, where is Carmen Sandiego? Yes! Oh, so good. Man, there's so many children's games that I used to love. I kind of want to play some children's games on stream sometime, like the educational games meant for like 6-year-olds. I'm gonna play some. I will do. That'll be fun.
Do you know those white things?
Oh right! You've never met them! They're Miru and Kaku. They're white things. They look kind of like doves but aren't.
How vague.
Well, I don't really know just what they are yet either, to be honest.
It's fine. I'm Nageki. Nice to meet you two. Merry Christmas! Nageki! Nageki! Nice to meet you!
Anyway, I hadn't expected to see even you two in the stream. What are you doing? Are you still looking for trees?
Merry Christmas! No! Miru and Kaku have a terrible problem. Miru and Kaku are hungry! Merry Christmas! Hungry! Hungry! So Miru and Kaku are going to the restaurant! Yay!
No, wait!
Too late.
Miru and Kaku vanished deep into the forest. This must be another one of those flags! After them! No, not the red flags! We gotta save them! And so Nageki and I ran through the forest after the disastrously hungry Miru and Kaku. Ooh, look at that. This is the restaurant Miru and Kaku were headed for then?
The sign says Chateau Shuka?
I have a terrible feeling about this. That name can't be a coincidence. Or maybe it's just my imagination. No, I don't think it is.
Well, if this is the restaurant the king was talking about, we need to investigate.
Nageki looks to me as if asking what we should do next. March straight in the front door, of course. In we go. It doesn't look like a restaurant.
A passage, a door, and a sign. It's a little plain.
Maybe they're closed? The signpost says, "This shop has many orders. Please be patient." Huh? Does that mean there are a lot of customers, so we might have to wait? Man, I love the watercolors on this. The artwork for this is so pretty. There isn't anywhere for a queue, though. What do we do, Nageki? What if it's reservation only?
We're here as investigators. I don't think we need a reservation.
Oh, right! Let's keep going. We open the door to reveal an identical plain corridor. Another door, another sign, and Miru and Kaku in a bucket.
Merry Christmas! Warm and steamy! Warm and steamy!
What are you two doing? Taking a bath?
Merry Christmas! Following instructions! Look, Miss Larry.
Nageki points at the sign. Please clean yourselves here. How sanitary. This restaurant must cater to celebrities. Yeah, my first thought was like, they are absolutely getting cooked here. They're prepping the ingredients, huh?
So we may hope. Merry Christmas! Next room! Next room! Yay!
Miru and Kaku, looking a little glossier than usual, head through the door. Oh no, they've been oiled up, haven't they? They've been glazed. Oh, I got a bad feeling about this. This place is like an onion. Go further in and it looks exactly the same.
There's another sign as well.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, please rub this cream into your hands, feet and face, from the tips of your feathers all the way into your skin. Cream? Before eating? I've never been to a high-class restaurant before. Do celebrities always put on moisturizer before eating? Oh, welcome back, Nemo. Yeah, this story has taken a turn. Well, I'm pretty sure that the doctor is involved here, Dr. Shu. Considering the name of the place, and we know what a tendency he has for hatchets and murder. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it's all good.
Merry Christmas! Krimirikaku! Krimirikaku! Woo!
They're covered in it.
Merry Christmas! On to the next room with excitement and dampness! Yay!
They run through the door, still covered in the cream. Oh dear, they're leaving footprints. And surprise, surprise, it's another passageway with another sign. All those orders must have been hard to follow. What a pity. So then, that one that said there were a lot of orders didn't mean orders to the restaurant, but orders from the restaurant. Yes. I'm not taking instructions from some greasy diner. I do what I want. This is the last order. Please rub this salt all over your bodies. Totally reasonable request, yeah. Salt? On top of the cream? Celebrities do some pretty weird stuff. This would be torture if you had a paper cut or something.
Merry Christmas! Ow! Ow, it's in my eye!
Are you two okay?
Cream, salt, and tears. I almost feel bad for the floor.
It is in a rather sorry state now.
Merry Christmas!
Oh, they look so sad.
Merry Christmas! But that was the last one! Merry Christmas! Miru and Kaku get to eat now! Yay!
They go into the next room, leaving a trail of salt and sadness. The janitor will probably have a nervous breakdown.
The sign, Miss Leary.
Huh?
There's more written on it.
We are so sorry for all that. You did very well. Now, go ahead. We'll be so happy to have you for dinner. Ah. Well, that ended on an awfully polite note. Did it? Did it really? You think so? It says they'll be happy to have us, see?
Polysemy is a terrible thing.
Nagaki stares at me coldly. Oh, it's like an eats, shoots, and leaves situation. Stop it. You'll leave a hole.
You are reading have you to mean have you over, yes?
I suppose so. What else would it mean?
What does it mean to have something for dinner, Miss Leary? I think it means Miru and Kaku are the main course.
What? Oh no, thanks for the explanation. Now we need to hurry. Coming through! The passage from the entrance leads straight into the kitchen? This is a bit much.
Merry Christmas! Ow! Ow! Owies!
They're being boiled. Are you two okay?
Merry Christmas! This bath is too hot. Can't they turn it down a little? It looks like we're in time.
Wait just a minute, you two. I'll have the temperature down in no time and then you can enjoy your bath. My, you are noisy. Are you with them? Yes, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it! I think it's a bit too high up for us to actually get them out, so lowering the temperature is definitely a good shout here. I knew it would be you. Does your cruelty know no bounds even in dreams, Doctor? Why can't you at least be nice while I'm asleep? Do you not think I should behave in your dreams as you would expect me to? I guess so, but... Now then, it is not yet your turn. May I ask you to be quiet while you wait? Also, it would appear that you have not followed all the instructions. Please return to the entrance and start over.
He has a knife, Miss Leary. Let's get out of here.
Humans who'd be scared of a butter knife like that died out long ago. Don't worry, Nagaki, I can handle this. What should I do? Oh no, what should I do? What I should do is save the game. Save the game. What should I do? What should I do? Should I do the right golden lightning spiral kick, or should I do the legendary left tempest uppercut? Oh wait, which was his injured arm? Oh god, I don't remember. I think his left arm is injured, so I'm gonna do the right golden lightning spiral kick. Take this! Right golden lightning spiral kick! Not only do you not follow the orders, but you also damage my hardwood floor. He dodged it?
Miss Leary, watch out!
You have not adequately cleaned yourself, but there is no helping it. Become sashimi. I don't want to become sashimi. Oh, I died. I did the wrong one. Okay, I'm glad I saved. Anyway. We're doing the legendary left tempest uppercut. Take this! Legendary left tempest uppercut! I knew you were weak on your right side. Oh no, of course, yeah, if it's his right side, because I knew his left one is injured, so he needs the... I don't know. I think I was thinking of it backwards, but yes. I knew you were weak on your right side, Doctor.
Know the enemy, and you need not fear the result of 100 battles, eh?
I had not accounted for this. I did not expect a human as strong as you to come to the restaurant.
We'll be taking Miru and Kaku back now.
And you're closing this restaurant. You've been making the king worry, you know. Very well. I shall defer to your impressive physique. Don't worry. I shall spend some time coming up with a new way of harvesting ingredients. He's not even trying to hide the fact that he's aiming to be back open soon. Make sure you get permission from the king when you reopen, okay?
That's it for that, then.
Yup. Are you okay, Miru, Kaku?
Merry Christmas! Miru and Kaku are warm and steamy. Merry Christmas! And Miru and Kaku got to eat the vegetables from the bath. They're still a little on the rare side. That's good. Merry Christmas! Miru and Kaku are going to go burn off some calories now. Yay!
They have so much energy. Some people just never slow down. So hungry? And to be hungry is to be sad. Hello? Hello? Oh my, a restaurant. Wait, no, don't go in. What's wrong?
You can't go in here. It's closed right now.
What? No. And I thought I would finally get to eat some corn. The king thought this restaurant was suspicious. You aren't from around here, are you? Oh, thank you for the hydrate as well. Yeah, I really am so bad at remembering. No, I'm not. I'm a migrant. Oh, you're migrating. I'm on a journey now.
A journey? Did you come here on the train, sir?
Yes, that's right. I'd never seen this star before, so I decided to look around. Journeys are wonderful. So many things to see. But being hungry is terrible. Makes me so sad. I suppose I'll keep looking for food then. Goodbye. Huh. Nagaki and I watched the migrant wander back into the forest. If he'd been 5 minutes earlier, he might have ended up on a spit.
A lucky fellow.
Definitely. And so we solved the case of the vanishing restaurant goers. What do we do now? We're without a goal again.
We should probably go report to the king. He must still be worried.
Oh, of course! Let's go back to the palace now then. We'll be walking more. Is that okay with you, Nagaki?
Yes, I like walking with you.
He's so quiet that I hadn't realized. I'm glad he's enjoying himself anyway. Come to think of it, being able to go on a journey and walk around outside like this must be like a dream come true for him. It is a dream after all. Wouldn't it be nice if this dream lasted forever, Nagaki?
We will wake up when morning comes. It has to end eventually.
I know.
But until then, I want to keep walking around with you, Miss Leary.
Me too. For now we can walk back to the king's palace. The king said that will not be necessary. It's the Forward King! You appear out of nowhere just like your citizens, Mr. King.
Your Majesty, we defeated the owner of the restaurant. The restaurant is closed now, so there's nothing more to worry about.
The king is very grateful. Thank you, guests from away. Thank you. You're welcome. None taken. The king would like to reward you. Please accept the king's gift. Ooh, shiny. Wow, what a pretty gem. What kind is it?
A garnet. The name comes from the French word for pomegranate.
Ooh, I did not know that. That makes sense though. Does the pomegranates do look very crystally? Although I remember seeing someone say that it looks like gore. But I prefer like the crystal idea. It looks a little bit like a pomegranate, I guess. But the king is still troubled. The king asked, will you listen to the king's next request?
You must be having an awful lot of trouble for how peaceful this planet seems.
What do you think, Nagaki?
We don't have anything else to do we? I'll let you decide.
Well, heroes are supposed to complete the quest set before them, right? What is your next request, Mr. King? I'm also gonna have another drink. I did that one on my own, please be proud of me. The flowers in the garden are going to be blown away. Blown away? Is there a typhoon coming? The garden is going to explode. What kind of garden is this? The king is very scared. The king is crying.
Even I would be a little unsettled if my garden was going to explode. Let's help him, Miss Leary.
Leave it to us, Mr. King. We got this. We're gonna make sure this garden does not explode. We're back in the city, but where do you think this explosive garden is exactly?
Who knows? I don't see anything likely here. Maybe it's on the outskirts of the town.
And this time we might not know it even if we see it. We should have gotten the king to show us the way. The flowers blew up. The garden exploded. Nagaki, look! A crowd of panicked citizens trying to run away from something, like rats from a burning sewer pipe.
That analogy is a little bit mean, Miss Leary.
Yeah, you're right. That is mean. Oh!
For remembering to hydrate.
Thank you so much for the 100 bits for hydration. I'm gonna have another drink just for that. Cheers! Oh, hold on. I bet I can... cheers! That was a bit of a weak thud, but I'm toasting. Toasting with a kind of monster is probably not very smart, but it's all good. Thank you so much for the bits!
We'll probably find the garden if we go towards whatever they're running from.
Oh. There's roses.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much, Evil Morbits. Thank you. What is this lunacy? Do you mean to tell me that blowing up gardens is common practice on this barbaric star? Hi, Sakuya. Sakuya. Yeah, you keep me hydrated. I'm so glad. Thank you. Huh? Didn't something like this happen a few weeks ago? It's a nice garden, aside from the holes. And poor Sakuya, he gets to be the bombing victim even in Dreamland. It is dreadful. And I have an important tea party scheduled for local celebrities today. This disgrace will besmirch the LaBelle family name. Oh, so he's hosting a tea party here? Geez, he should have invited me too. Though I'm not a celebrity. Do you know who did this? I haven't the slightest. There has been no suspicious activity. The garden blew up by itself. So, time bombs set before everyone got here? That's some awfully meticulous terrorism for a fairy tale world. Have you already made enemies who would want to ruin your name on this planet, Sakuya? Do you mock me? Perhaps you have not noticed, but this is a dream, and it only just started. I have barely been here for a few hours. How could I possibly have made enemies? I think Sakuya's snobby, aristocratic attitude could make him all kinds of enemies within the space of a single conversation. But then again, none of the people here seem particularly short-tempered. If it's not someone settling a grudge, then who? And why? Maybe they have some other far deeper motive that we're just... What? Confound it, more explosions! Miss Leary, get down! Don't worry, I am having sips of water as well. I've got a water bottle. Little bottle of water. With a lid. Wait, what just happened? Wow, more holes! Urgh. Show yourselves, terrorists! Cowards! That's right, come out and fight us like men. Wait, someone's coming through. Someone's coming through. Team hydrate! Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be so well hydrated by the end of this. Thank you! Thank you for the hydrate. Wait, someone's coming through. Coming through the hole? Oh, it's Yuya! Ah, looks like I've arrived at last. Yuya? Salutations, mon ami. So you're here too. This is no time for salutations. You insufferable mongrel, what have you done to my beautiful garden? Oh. Looks like I blew most of it up. Sorry, Sakuya. Looks like? What do you mean, looks like? Take responsibility for your actions, you filthy mongrel. Kerr, look at what you've done. My garden is nothing but holes. Sorry. I had a little trouble finding the entrance, you see. There's a gate right over there. Yeah, Yuya. Why did you have to do all this? I guess that's what happens when you enjoy your job too much. Stop laughing, you fiend! Anyway, I'm so happy to see you. As your brother, I do worry about how you're doing, even in dream... I do... What? He disappeared? He just fell into the hole. Yuya! Are you alright? There's no reply, it's just a hole. What was that all about? Down a hole he created himself. Serves him right, the licentious cur. I wonder where he went. It looks like a rabbit hole. Oh, Alice in Wonderland. We got the tea party, we got the rabbit hole. We had the roses just now. So maybe he's in Wonderland. Can you hear me, Sakazaki? I want you to sit down there in the dark and think about what you've done. It looks like the exploding garden was just Yuya engaging in a little accidental terrorism while trying to find the entrance. Do you think that's all, Nagaki?
Probably. We don't have to stick around any longer anyway.
You know, just like accidental terrorism, you know, when you just like accidentally bomb something. I can't say I've ever done that myself. Thankfully. Yes, quest complete. On to the next one. That went well. And so we solved another one of the king's problems.
We've been here for a while now.
Time always does pass strangely in dreams.
Really?
You can have a dream that seems like it lasts for months in a single 10-minute nap after all, right?
I don't know. I don't usually remember my dreams.
Oh, do ghosts dream at all?
I can't speak for other ghosts, but I sleep and I dream.
Is that so? Interesting. Hello again. Is this the right way to the tea party? Mr. Migrant! I heard there's a tea party in the garden just outside town. And there's supposed to be fine black tea and cake? To tell the truth, I prefer rice cookies and coffee, but any food sounds good right now.
Unfortunately, the tea party is cancelled.
What? The garden got targeted by a terrorist attack. I think it was for celebrities anyway, so a guest as ratty as you would probably have gotten thrown out. That's so rude, don't say that. Ah, is that so? This city is a cold, heartless place. Cheer up, mister. Common people like us are indomitable. The cruel upper classes can tread on us and grind us into the dirt, but we'll always spring back up like weeds.
It's not much, but here.
Oh? Nagaki hands the migrant 3 sugar cubes.
I picked them up in the Milky Way. They were mixed in with the stars.
I've heard that diamonds and sugar cubes float through the Milky Way along with the stars. These must be some of those. Are you sure?
Yes. They're not much, but maybe they'll be enough for now.
This protagonist is so rude sometimes. It's okay, it's just a dream. I will wake up and be just as kind as always. Thank you! Now I can continue my journey. I'll repay you someday, somehow. The self-styled migrant jauntily flutters away.
He's always just a little bit off.
I bet whenever he goes to the store, the thing he's looking for is sold out. I hadn't realized there were sugar cubes floating in the Milky Way, though. If I'd known, I would have looked for them while we were on the train. Where to next?
We've completed our goal again.
That's the King's queue. His Royal Highness, the King. He's here.
The bird who was blowing up the garden fell down a hole and disappeared.
Though there are a lot of holes in the garden now. Oh no. The King is relieved. People who disturb the peace are scary. Huh? What just happened to the King's head? Did I imagine that? It is time for the King's reward. Please accept the King's jewel. Ooh. Blue one this time. Ah, it's so pretty. And blue. What's it called? Lapis lazuli. He really does know everything. The King said, please listen to the King's next request. Fire away, Highness.
Don't you think you should word yourself more carefully, Miss Leary? Since you're getting to play the heroine for once?
Should I? I mean, considering the wording in the restaurant, I think that's probably a good shout. The King is very troubled. It looks like it might rain, so the King is in a terrible position. Rain?
Have you considered an umbrella, sir?
It has never rained here since this kingdom was created. But there are dark clouds gathering at the summit of Mount Pudding. Mount Pudding, oh, that's gonna be Oko-san. Mount Pudding. I know who will meet there already. Yep. Simuragi, hello! Nice to see you, how's it going? Mount Pudding is a tall, tall mountain. The clouds at its peak might slip off and slide down and come to the king's palace. And will it be a problem if the palace gets wet? It looks sturdy enough. It would probably be just fine in a storm, never mind a little rain. Oh, glad you're doing well. I am also doing well. We're enjoying a very interesting story at the moment. A very odd dream world on the holiday star. It's like, I say Christmas pigeons, but this one is like post-New Year, but it's still like the festive feel to it. It's all good. Good times. Fever dream. That's exactly what this is. So far we've had a cannibalistic restaurant and an accidental terrorist bombing at a tea party. So it's interesting. It's very pretty though. Look how pretty it is. The king is troubled. If the king's palace gets wet... Oh god, it's happening again. What the heck is happening? What is happening to the king? Oh no. The king will cry. He had another head just now. He had another head again just now, didn't he? But he looks normal now? I think. Oh my god, Torin! Hello! How's it going? Long time no speak. How are you? Hello! How does cannibalistic restaurant work? Basically, you go in, it tells you to clean yourself off, then it tells you to smother yourself in cream, then it tells you to add salt, then it tells you to get in the pot and get cooked. Yeah, it's, yeah. Pigeons cooked by the bird, of the bird, for the bird. Not a good situation. It's okay though, we shut it down. For now. It's not happening anymore. It's closed down. Out of business. But he looks normal now, I think? It must have been my imagination. Why would you start crying just because it's raining? The heroine in a J-pop song or a shoujo manga might do something like that. Maybe the king is a delicate maiden at heart. Don't worry, your highness. I will protect your fragile heart from the cruel weather. To Mount Pudding! Off we go! After a long and perilous journey over valley and mountain, hill and dale, through dungeons deep and caverns old, Nagaki and I arrive at Mount Pudding. Oh, thank you so much for popping in and saying hi, even if you have to go now. I'm glad you were able to drop in. Thank you for popping in. Yeah, the health authorities closed it down. There were some irregularities in the menu. Pudding. Look how pretty this is. I'm just going to leave it on the screen for a bit. Look how pretty that is. I want pudding now. It is even more pudding than its name had led me to imagine. Looking at it, well, I really can't think of any name other than Mount Pudding. Coo! Calm down, San. Going berserk now won't fix anything. Oko-san! What? I knew we'd see him here. I thought Oko-san would be here, but I hadn't quite expected you, Ryota. Oh, hello, Luri. So you're here too, and... Nagaki? So it would seem. I see. I guess you two are together even in this dream, then. We arrived on the same train. We're a dynamic duo on a quest for the king. What about you? I guess I'm a votaress of pudding? And the role comes with a new costume. This time he gets to be a nun. Oh, look at him. Suits him well. So that means Oko-san is... Cool! Oko-san is the beloved guardian deity of Mount Pudding. Incidentally, what does he need those things on his back for? Aren't gods supposed to be calm and composed? Cool. It is not the time for being calm. The rain is coming.
Weather usually changes quickly in the mountains, so if we wait, it should be clear again eventually.
Cool! Waiting is not an option. Oko-san's pudding will be rendered gooey. Oh no, gooey pudding, no. Sounds like the rain would be a problem for you too, Oko-san.
The king said rain has never fallen here, so there must be something behind it. It might not go away even if we wait.
Ooh, rain is bad. Oko-san shall blow the clouds away.
You're never gonna get rid of rain clouds by flapping at them, San. And if the clouds get blown down the mountain, the king will be sad. We need to think of another way.
We do not want the king to be sad. That would be bad. The clouds are coming from the summit. Let's climb the mountain and see what's up there, Nageki.
Alright.
Ah, that was more of a climb than I had expected. I never realized pudding was this hard to climb up. I guess it would be really slippery.
I suppose it is very slippery.
Are you doing okay, Nageki? You didn't get tired?
Not at all.
I flew. This is the true separator of birds and men. Well, we're at the top.
And there's something suspicious right over there.
Oh. Oh no. It's like in the Inugami clan. Is that the spoiler for the novel? Nageki, what do we do? This isn't a fairy tale, it's a murder mystery. It's Tsukekyo.
The corpse upside down in the water was a diversion by the real culprit. People get it mixed up all the time, but Inugami Tsukekyo wasn't the man in the white mask or the corpse in the water.
Okay, there are the spoilers. Sorry about that if you wanted to read that Japanese novel. So this is what the spoiler warning was for. But even with a warning, it's bad form to go telling people the answers to puzzles and mysteries, Nageki. Don't do that. Yeah, Nageki, no backseating. What are you doing?
Anyway, if he stays stuck in the caramel for too long, he'll suffocate. Let's help him.
Right. You take one leg, I'll take the other. Yeah, it depends on the amount of caramel on the pudding. I know, I feel like the actual pudding itself would be quite slippery as well. Although again, that like depends on the pudding. Ah, I can breathe again at last. Thank you. Wow, he's covered in caramel. He's like a walking ant trap. We've been bumping into people who are at the observation so far, so... You're Mr. Nanaki, right? No, that's not right. I'm Nemo. Nemo? So, your name is... Nemo? Yes, that's right. I'm Nemo and I've lost something. I've lost something and I can't find it. Is it... Instead of finding Nemo, it's finding something for Nemo. I've lost something and I can't find it, so I think I might cry. Hey, Nageki. Don't you think the rain's getting a little heavier?
Definitely. And more clouds are gathering.
Oh, we gotta... Don't cry, Nemo. You're making the clouds appear. Where should I look? I think I dropped it in the swamp. I look and I don't find it. And now I feel sad.
The sky sheds tears for you, Mr. Nemo.
How poetic. Finding Marvin.
Well, think about where we are. There's no need to think realistically.
So to get rid of the clouds, maybe we need to solve Nemo's problem? What are you looking for, Mr. Nemo? We'll help you find it. You will? Really? That's so nice of you. I've lost my name. I think it is Nanaki-san. Your name?
Hence Nemo.
How do you lose your own name?
I just told you, Miss Leary. Logical thought will get us nowhere.
What does your name look like? I'm going to use the Nanaki voice for him because I think it is going to be him. I wonder what it does look like. I'll ask the questions here, bub. I don't know. I can't see anything.
Because your eyes are full of caramel?
No, that's not it. Because I don't have eyes. I ate them, you see. What? If a bird eats its own beak, it will die, but if it eats its eyes, it will be fine. Nagaki! Every time Tsukikyo here opens his mouth, he does terrible, terrible things to our fairy tale atmosphere. Everything he says is way too surreal. Yeah, don't give your name to a fey creature, they'll steal it from you. It's that real names are very powerful in the fey world.
Not really. The macabre is a long-standing tradition in fairy tales, after all.
That is true, there are a lot of messed up fairy tales out there. Like, have you read any of, like, the Brothers Grimm fairy tales? Some of them really are, like, they are grim. It's so interesting. Anyway, I think I heard my name falling into the mud here.
But we can't see anything through this caramel sauce.
Do I just so happen to be carrying any convenient tools perfectly suited to the job? Nagaki! I have a pond fishing set with me.
You keep one of those on your person?
Hell yeah, I do. Women want me, fish fear me. Doesn't your tummy ever get the rumblies that only raw pond smelt can cure?
No.
No one ever understands me. Anyway, maybe we can catch Mr. Nemo's name with this. I've got something! I've got something!
That's impressive, Miss Leary. What is it?
Hang on, I'll have it up in a second. Look! An early Alice!
A strawberry in the pudding?
Mr. Nemo! Your name is Early Alice. I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure that's not it.
Oh well. I guess there's nothing for it.
Catch, release, and try again. Look, I never said I was good at fishing, just that I was fishing. It's all good. We will find something. A bite! This is a big one!
It's certainly pulling quite hard. Here, let me help you.
Please do. We got it!
This is...
Ever-bearing Alexandria. Mr. Nemo, your name is Ever-bearing Alexandria.
No. I'm not a strawberry.
Beggars can't be choosers, Mr. Nemo. Jeez, how stubborn can you get? Is it literally just going to be names of strawberries? This is incredible. Nagaki and I continue fishing for a while, but we only ever catch strawberries. Just what is Mr. Nemo's name? I guess we're not finding it. Don't start feeling down, Mr. Nemo. You'll make the rain worse.
We might not find it at this rate. Maybe we should give you a new one?
A new name for Mr. Nemo? Would that solve the problem? I hadn't thought of that. I guess I'm empty from the eyelids back. What? That's all we needed to do? A new name. How about Late Lucy, Early Rosie? I told you I'm not a strawberry. Oh no, I got stuck in strawberry mode by accident. Hydrate, thank you. Thank you for the hydrate. You really are looking out for me. I can't think of anything. What about you, Nagaki?
You're leaving something that important to me?
It was your idea, right? You can probably come up with a better one than I could anyway.
What about Hitori?
Hitori? That's an odd name.
I can't remember well, but I think a long time ago, when I was alive, someone very important to me was named Hitori.
Are you sure you want to give me a name that precious to you?
I don't mind. I can't remember anyway. You might as well have it.
Hitori.
I am Hitori.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. I can't see you,
but I can tell that you are the two most wonderful birds I have ever met. I won't ever forget this. I'm not a bird. I wonder how I can thank you. Do I have anything? Oh, here, let me give you this. Please take it. We got a Lello. We got a Lello. 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 Ah, another pretty stone. It's a topaz. I feel very sunny and warm now. I love how the Santa hats look on the Ludo piece. I always have to take a nap in the forest when I feel like this. The thoroughly caramelled Nitori, nay Nuo, happily leaves the mountain. The rain has stopped. The king and the guardian deity won't have to worry about it now. The king is probably shaking and crying in his castle right about now. Let's go give him the good news. Your Highness! We're back! We're not exactly going into a friend's house, Miss Leary. Shouldn't you be a little more decorous? Should I? I'm already thinking of the king as a friend, though. You must have an awful lot of friends. His Royal Highness, the King. The king was very scared of the rain. The king cried. I knew it. Don't worry, Your Majesty. The rain's all gone now, so it's okay. Is it truly so? Take a look outside, sir. The king is relieved. The king was afraid the fire would go out. The fire? That must be the light we saw earlier. Thanks to you two, the king's land is now peaceful once more. The king has no more troubles. The king said, will you hear the king's final request? Even though you're out of troubles? The king really wants that planisphere. Mine? No. I was told not to give it away no matter what. Puppy eyes won't help, Your Majesty. No means no. The king was very sad. Could you give the king just one star from the planisphere's face? One of the stars? The stars are represented by gemstone shards. We could probably pull one out. What do you want to do, Nagaki? I feel like this is a really, really bad idea. I don't think we should do this. Even a single star is still a part of the planisphere. What do you think, Miss Leary? I suppose that's true. But the king has been giving us gems this entire time, so just one would be fine, right? That's reasonable enough. No, I feel like this is a terrible idea. Please don't. The king asked, will you give the king a star from the planisphere? All right, I will. Pick one. The king said the king would like this one here. The king was very grateful. Thank you, guests from away. You're welcome. I guess we're really done with the king's request now, Nagaki. Yes. The night is almost over, Miss Leary. Let's go outside. I got a bad feeling. Hopefully it will be okay. Oh, the music's so gentle. How could anything possibly go wrong with music like this? The abyss of the night sky is a little brighter when we get outside. The sky is so beautiful just before dawn. And I love the air at this time of day. Do you always get up before dawn, Miss Leary? A hunter has to be awake and ready before the first light touches the ground. See, this is proof that this protagonist is not really me. I am terrible with mornings. Ugh. I'm more of a night owl. Or a night cat, I guess. Cats are nocturnal. Cats are nocturnal, though. I see. That must be tiring. Yeah, this music is like, oh no, what's gonna happen? What's gonna break my heart now? Dawn. When morning comes, this dream too shall pass. Nagaki, I'm really happy we got to have this adventure together, even if it was just for one night. I'll always remember this dream.
Really?
Cross my heart and dare to die. That's definitely how it goes.
I'm glad I got to walk with you too. Thank you.
In the real world, Nagaki can never leave the school. But one day I want to take him out like this again. There's so much of the earth that I wish he could see. It's the start of a new day, Nagaki. And I'll see you in the library soon.
Yes. It's dawn. Goodbye, Miss Louie.
Wakey, wakey. Gotta get up. Huh? Wait a minute. Where's the sun? Oh no. What about our dramatic build-up?
That's odd. Dawn is supposed to come after pre-dawn, isn't it?
Whatever are you travelers talking about? Everyone knows midnight comes after pre-dawn. And after that dusk, then midnight again, then pre-dawn, then midnight. Time swings back and forth like a pendulum, after all. The sun will not rise. This dream will never end. Oh god, and it's really gonna end like that? Yeah, I think we know which star the king took, huh? The day the night slept. Finished. Which means there's only one story left. But you know what? Only one story left. Oh, look at the gallery. Oh, there's still the bad ends as well, though. I didn't get the bad ends for the first game because I kept forgetting to save the game, so I should go through and do them at some point. But I think what I'm gonna do is, because it's already getting a little late and I don't know how long this last story will take, I'm gonna save that for another stream. Because as well as this, there is a lot of extra content as well. So what I'm gonna do is, there's not really time before Christmas for me to stream now, but I will be streaming the Tuesday after Christmas, which is the 28th. And that's actually going to be my last stream of the year, so I think we can finish up Holiday Star then. I feel like that would be nice. Anyway, I'm going to pop over here. Look at the snow. We got the snow falling. But yes, Xandra and I are going to be streaming together on Christmas Eve. It's going to be a shorter stream than our usual ones because of the whole Christmas Eve thing, but we were like, you know what? Family Christmas, why not? We can have a little Christmas celebration. But yeah, so I will be streaming on Saturday is Christmas. Streaming on Friday with Xander for Christmas Family Friday. And then I will be streaming on Tuesday the 28th, and that will be my last stream of the year. Because I'll be going away to visit friends over New Year's, which I'm very excited for. Because I wasn't able to last year, so being able to go back again, I'm just like, yes, finally. Yeah, nice. One more uwu for Xander, yes. He will absolutely love it. He'll be so glad. It'll be the best Christmas present. But, yes. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to have family Christmas. I'm going to finish up Holiday Star next Tuesday, and then I will be seeing you in the new year after that, so that's very exciting. Yeah, he always appreciates the uwus. He may act tsundere, but he loves it really. But thank you so much everyone for joining me for this. I love these pigeons so much. I love these birds. I love these stories, and I'm very, very excited to finish it up next week. But yes, thank you so much everyone for joining me this whole time. Only one uwu present. No, we can have like 3 probably, maybe. Oh, you have given me a great idea for a Christmas present. Actually, I'm not going to share it in case he hears it, but I've got a great idea. Anyway. Oh, you just lost power? Oh no. Oh no, I hope you get it back soon. Ah, right, well, anyway, let's find someone to raid before I head off. Yamato, Merry Christmas! You joined right at the end, unfortunately. just finished 2 of the stories and gonna be finishing off the next one next week. But Merry Christmas! Thank you for stopping by either way. I'm very glad you can still stick around for the raid. I need to decide who to raid. There's so many people online. Oh no, there's so many people I do want to raid. I don't know who to raid. You know what? I only met him recently, but Lenny Lizard has been so kind and supportive, and he always pops into my streams. So, you know what? I think I'm gonna send a raid over in Lenny Lizard's direction. He's doing a big Gartic phone collab at the moment, so that could be quite interesting to watch. So yeah, because I haven't raided him before, I think I will send the raid over in his direction. We'll see how this goes. But yes, thank you so much everyone for joining me. I have had an absolute blast, and I can't wait to finish it off as well. I'm so excited. I'm clapping in real life. I'm just like, yay! I'm like a little child, overexcited. But yes, I will. Oh, I did it. The command didn't go through. Hello, raid. There we go. Now it's gone through. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Oh, Piru, thank you so much as well. I'm so glad you thought it was comfy. I gotta say, I do love story time. I want to do more visual novels because I love the story reading. I think it's a lot of fun. But yes, I will leave it at that for now. And then hopefully... Oh, yes, there is the raid command. If you are subbed or if you want to unlock the emote for, I think, 80 points, you can use the cheer emote, Leary Raid. If not, we are just going to use hearts. But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I'll be back on Christmas Eve with Xander. I still don't even know what we're going to be doing. It will be interesting. I'm sure it'll be fun. But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I have had a blast. And until next time, bye-bye!